The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Well, we got one more week to go, and then it's finally Halloween. And it's hard to believe that it's gotten here this quickly. I mean, 2019 has come through like a bullet. It's amazing. But, you know, there's still plenty of the year left. Still plenty of movies to review. And we're going to review one of those movies tonight. That's great, huh? Okay, so fuck it, I got nothing. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 378 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast that is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein and also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau. We discuss one film a week, at least one film. It is getting close to December, which we do 2 films a week. But you guys are looking forward to that. We argue.
I thought we got rid of that.
Yeah. Nope. We make fun of each other, and, hey, we always can't be on for the intro, right, MZ?
That's true.
You're tired, man.
They all can't be winners.
Big yawn right there.
Yeah, but even a broken clock is right twice a day. Come on.
Well, he's a broken human, so.
I'm a broken man.
And on this evening's show, or today's show, this morning's show, whenever you're going to listen to this, we are going to be talking about the latest film from Rob Zombie, 3 from Hell, the sequel to The Devil's Rejects. So we'll be talking about that. And we don't have too much else planned after that. We'll just kind of take things easy, you know. I don't know if you guys have any follow-up stuff for Rock and Shock or anything like that we want to discuss, but we are getting close to Halloween. As MZ said in the intro, Halloween is next week. And we haven't even talked about it, but you guys want to do the show on Halloween? Or Raven Chow, you gotta be there for the trick-or-treaters or what?
Well, it's funny. I mean, this is not the first show that took place on Halloween.
That is true.
But it'd be the first one here, though. And
yeah.
You'd be getting up every 5 minutes answering the door.
No, it's good because normally in my neighborhood, it's pretty much done around the 8 o'clock hour. So it's like, you know, it's kind of fast and furious from like 6 to like 7.
Whoa, Vin Diesel's there?
Oh, yeah. You know, I fucking trick or treat, you know, a quarter mile at a time. You know?
I don't know what that means.
It was in the movie. Okay. Come on. He's like, I live my life a quarter mile at what? I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Okay, but how do you trick or treat a quarter mile at a time?
I'll come over here, fucking, it's nice. Vin Diesel, he's a big fucking charger.
Oh, he's talking about him.
You can have any beer you want as long as it's Corona.
He's Bloodshot, man.
He is Bloodshot.
He looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't look anything like him.
But is he going to do the white thing?
No,
I watched some.
No. Would that be white?
Yeah.
Would that be whiteface? I don't.
It might be whiteface. But it's like white though, not like peach. It's like white. You know, the Joker. You know, Joaquin Phoenix ain't whiteface.
Yeah, he is.
He's a clown.
It's whiteface.
I don't think so.
It's racist.
I was drawing when I would color Caucasians as a kid. I would use the peach color in the crayon box.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's 8.
No, my mom loved me. I had the shop there in the back. But no, yeah, Bloodshot. It's I watched the trailer.
Yep.
You see it, John?
I did. I posted it.
I saw your post.
So of course I watched it.
But he's gonna have the look, right? I stopped watching it because it kept showing like too much.
Not in the trailer, anyways.
Really? It looked like it kind of wanted to be a little bit of Deadpool going on.
Yeah, maybe. Well, everyone's going for that rated R shit now, you know.
Yeah, and I do like Bloodshot. I am a Valiant fan. Even down to Magnus the Robot Fighter, Shadow Man, Archer Armstrong, Quantum and Woody,
Oh yeah.
Eternal Warrior. So that was my milk for back in the day, and Bloodshot was a spin-off of Rye, which was first. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. He's got to have the white look though.
No.
Again.
I think he does though.
Okay, then don't see it.
Well, I'll see it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, no, he's
It's not in the trailer, so it's probably not in the movie.
Are you sure? Johnny, play the trailer.
What part of probably it makes you think I'm sure?
I don't know. But it has my boy from Memento. Who's the dude?
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce.
So much your boy, you can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
right?
I forget a lot of my boys' names. And I think it has the dude who was in Punisher season 1, at least.
The
Maybe a hated
dude.
movie.
Yeah, like Frank's buddy who became a nemesis.
Jesus Christ. Is this really happening?
Well, better than your fucking intro. Hey, we're
I
fucking
don't know.
movies.
You know what? I don't know about that.
Halloween's coming.
I think my intro was a lot better than this.
Flip a coin.
Because at least it was short. At least it stopped.
Oh, well.
You just keep rambling on and on and on and on.
Yeah, he got in a hole and stopped digging. You kept on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like the
All right, Rich. I'm
Fucking-
gonna
John Henry of like Dick Holes.
I'm going to come in for the hot tag. I'm going to go ahead and introduce everyone because we haven't done this in a while. So I'll go ahead and start here in Castle Wolfenstein. I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio. And I may be starting a new podcast. I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking.
What?
Fuck, bro.
There's been some rumblings. You guys know the Star Wars special we've been doing, right? Every
Oh,
time.
that-
Yeah, so there's some discussion about Star Wars podcast, and it's been heating up. So if anyone is, I don't know if anyone out there thinks that's a cool idea, let us know because, if you guys don't care about it, maybe we won't do it. So if you guys want to see it, let us know. We also
Going to-
have what?
Going to business for yourself over there?
Well, my fourth one.
Oh.
How many you got, Raven Shadow?
Working on it.
Working on what?
Businesses.
Business about to pick up?
Yeah. As long as the phone rings.
Do you know how to work it?
I'm waiting for it. Yeah. I've heard it ring before, but it's broken.
We also have the vulgar guru of horror, star Blood Pigs, Fetus, the upcoming Morbid Tales, and Septic, one-time contributor for Horrorhound magazine, Monster Zero.
Yay. That's all you're going to get out of me.
Wow. Are you drunk?
Yeah, where's my whiskey?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know what's going on with me. No,
who's fucking passing out Thorazine on the way over?
I don't know. Somebody direct me to him.
He's
I
doing
don't
the
know
Thorazine shuffle over there.
Yeah.
Got it from Thor.
Jesus.
Oh, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yes.
But we
Yes.
got to listen to him talk about whoever the fuck he's talking about.
Bloodshot.
Bloodshot, whoever the hell that is.
Yeah.
Well, we were calling him out on all this shit too.
Yeah. Dummy.
Big dummy.
You big dummy.
How would you like 5 of these where you sneeze?
We also have, moving on, we also have
shit.
the Triumph. Oh, wait, is he still the Triumph riding, Aries? I know you talked about something else.
I'll let you know if things change.
Yeah, you got to let me know. All right. Triumph riding, stage erecting, whiskey drinking, chief of security, the warrior of nor'easters, America's sweetheart, Rick Rubin's stunt double. He drinks and breaks things, Aries, god of war.
Greetings.
And finally, we have the glorified grip, the chain-smoking, hand-kissing, baby-shaking, Lorazepam, Thorazine shuffling, loving, comic book reading nerd, the official smoke chamber for the Lair of Lost Swag, the pimp of promotions, the Italian rapscallion, professional bullshitter, the cool principal, the proprietor and secretary of the sexy speakeasy, Mr. Runtime, the Duke of Degeneracy, and the Parisian Bruja himself, Michael
guys.
Ravenshadow.
Oh, it's very exciting, Johnny. It's very exciting. Good to be back. And
Where'd you
I
go?
also,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
In order for you to be back, you had to have gone somewhere.
I was downstairs for a little while. I took Ollie out, and then I combed my hair in the bathroom. But what's exciting, Aries, what's exciting, Aries, is that sometimes, Johnny, I go see national acts at large venues.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Worcester area.
I saw some pictures.
Yeah. I saw. I went with the some members of the Kobayashi Maru, Woo, Smoking Thai Salmon, and Thomas Smythe. And we saw Ghost play the DCU Center on Monday.
I didn't know you were a fan.
I do like the Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah?
No, I think you mentioned him on the show. Thomas Smythe also gave me a couple of tracks, so we did that. We ran into Mars and Grandize the Funk there,
Yeah.
which was kind of cool. Did a little pre-gaming at Moyni's, which was nice.
You fucking love that
So,
place.
It was nice. Yeah, it was good.
Do
it
they
was
have
good.
your regular all ready to go as soon as you walk in the door?
Yes, beer. So that was
Beer.
it's on tap. But it was cool. It was nice. They were really, really fucking good.
You know, sorry I couldn't make it, but you know, I wasn't invited.
Did you want it? Do you like?
I
those?
would have gone.
Well, it was Thomas Smythe.
Wow,
I didn't-
Raven Shadow.
Yeah, no, I'll go
Holy
fuck myself.
shit.
I would've liked that
Who's your oldest friend?
Aries God of War,
Yeah.
my big brother.
Yeah. Wow.
Just,
I didn't know.
Unbelievable. Wow.
be in the corner licking the cat's ass.
It was Thomas Smythe. It was a gift for his birthday.
For
He took
his
us out.
birthday, you didn't give him a gift?
No, it's funny.
He gives you gifts
No,
on his
and
birthday?
Thomas Smythe, fucking balling on a budget. He took out Smoking Thai and I, so it was nice. Smoking Thai came from Connecticut, and it was a good time. But I wish I knew. I would have had you come.
Yeah, you should have asked.
No,
You
you
wanna go
could have given him your ticket.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
I would have given you my ticket.
All I do for you.
You do a lot for me. All right, well, keep concert. I'll keep looking. Check the papers. Go down Strawberry. See what's coming up.
Strawberries.
The fucking wall. Remember that?
Wow.
That was exciting. All right, well, I apologize, Aries. I would have loved to have you come with us. You could have joined the Maru.
No.
No. He doesn't want to join the Maru.
I had some ideas. This would have been great.
Evil Corny says MZ needs vitamins.
Yes.
Yeah,
He needs,
that's kind of true.
he needs some vitamin D.
Ooh.
Is that everyone? Yeah, I introduced everyone.
What, are you losing it now?
No. Well, yeah, you guys are fucking wearing off on me.
I think we all brought our C games today.
Yeah.
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 What the hell?
First time listeners, probably not your best show.
The shorter the show, the better off you'll all be.
Episode 300 was really good. Check that out.
Let's get right into the movie review. Let's get this over with.
I got a MZ gave me a gift though.
He did?
Giant 10.
He did, yeah. It's a giant 8x10 of himself. I mean, if this is
8
really
feet
you,
by 10 feet.
I will fucking lose it if this is a picture of you like doing
you
the
know
tuck
what?
dance. That would be fucking outrageous.
You know what? Had I thought of that, yeah, I would have sprung for that.
That would have been
Maybe not necessarily a tuck dance, but just giant headshot of MZ.
that would have been a great work because MZ when we last met for the Thursday recording of our Patreon, please support now. $2, $5 will get you more content pretty much every month. But that would have been a great work if this really was you like naked on like a horse. But no, I want to open it, but headphones off.
It's fragile. Yeah, you can do without listening to yourself for 30 seconds while you open it.
So can we, for that matter.
Johnny,
Yeah.
stop talking.
Come on, open it. I want to see what's going on over here.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
Oh, Police Academy.
Sweet.
Ravenshot must be psyched. He's not on mic,
Oh,
so I can't
yes.
say.
He is psyched.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, it's going over my bed.
Like on the
ceiling?
ceiling? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking up, you're staring right at it. Just do yourself.
What
Jesus
doing?
Christ!
Are you new?
God damn, can't you fold a fucking poster?
No.
What did you do?
No. Dude,
Jesus
dude,
Christ.
I don't know.
dude, stop. Put it down. I really shouldn't care because it's not mine anymore.
Wow.
Just fold it in half.
Bring that. Yeah, bring
Yeah,
that
bring
end.
that- no.
Bring that
Oh
end
my
up.
God.
gotta teach him how to.
He
wow,
can't
the
even
guy-
fold a poster.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Wow.
I got people yelling at me. He's calling me a motherfucker.
Well, because there's 4 folds in it and you're doing it wrong. How is that possible?
How can you fuck this up?
It's like fucking origami, man.
No,
I
it's
don't
not like
fucking-
origami.
Not a road map. There's 4 folds.
Let me
in
tell
it.
you something.
Well, like,
This
Johnny, where'd you go?
this Kit Kat wrapper, this
Yeah.
small Kit Kat wrapper is closer to origami than that.
What the fuck, man? Corny. The fuck, man?
They're calling you a
Right?
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Although everyone's got a bone to pick with you because Marion just said I wasn't invited either, Aries.
No,
Wow.
listen. I said we're going, and you seem
Yeah.
very.
We're going.
Wait, was it like the last thing you shouted as the door closed? We're going. You know?
I'm going to see Ghost for Kobe Ash and Maroon 5. Well, I'm sorry, baby. I don't think you liked the CDs when we played them.
Jesus. You don't think. Could stop
Apparently
there.
All right, good. Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, live fast, love hard, die with your mask on. I guess.
I think you guys threw off the autofocus when you put the poster up. Someone put their hand up in the middle of the screen and just like see if it focuses on your MZ. Put your hand up. No, sit. Keep.
No, sit.
Sit.
Just put your hand up.
But just put your hand up.
That's just going to confuse it.
It's not
Sit,
focusing.
sit.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I think Kevin Shaw touched it last week.
I didn't touch it.
Is it working?
I may have to mess with it.
All right, so we need to just start rambling and feeling some dead air here.
No.
Yeah.
Or you guys
Look
could
at
just be out of focus. Doesn't matter.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that. I look out of focus.
Look at the white thing in front of it.
That's a weight balance under focus. A white thing in front.
I seen him do that. I seen Johnny do that
Like I
before.
said, it's a weight balance, though. Putting a plain white thing is not going to help it focus.
How does it know what color it is?
Corny says, "Damn, Raven Chow was fucking that poster up to an Alabamian level."
Alabamian?
Yeah. You know. What
Yeah,
that
you know
is.
what? And you know what? I forgot all about the fact that he still has your shit. And I should have just held this thing hot. You know what? I think I will.
I don't.
No, he doesn't have corny stuff anymore.
No, he.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah. Marion.
I mailed.
Marion helped out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Marion helped
okay.
out with that. But he did say he had something of Sligos.
Yes.
Yes. Well, it was a gift that Slagoth gave me, and I told him no. I want him to have it. And I'm working something out. I'm working something out with that. And I have something for him. I'm going to give him something that's special from my past.
What, your underwear?
Something special from your past.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't look at this all.
Yo, you're gonna
Yeah,
fucking look at that. all
We're going to look
episode.
at X-Pac all night long. Come
Yes.
on.
So as Johnny's working on some techno
Get this off
issues,
Get this off the goddamn screen.
the screensaver of the Layer of Lost Swag is there, and that's Sean Waltman, aka X-Pac,
Sticking his tongue
giving
out.
us a twinkle in his eye, and you can't see his hands, but there's definitely a crotch job.
the Lord of the Tornadoes.
Listen,
He's the Lord of the Tornadoes.
a lot of guys get tornadoes.
And Kevin Nash is the lord of the torn quad.
Yeah, it's true. Listen, X-Pac did a lot of drugs. He's all better now. He likes dogs.
X-Dog.
X-Dog. Yeah, it's good. No, it's exciting.
What's exciting?
X-Pac.
Is exciting?
He is exciting. Actually, no, it's actually exciting. AEW. I've been enjoying that. You've been checking that out, Aries?
I have not.
MZ?
I've seen a little bit of it. It's a hell of a it can't be any worse than what the WWE's putting out.
Nah, it's just
WWE is just atrocious.
Talking to the mic.
Huh?
Talking to the mic.
I am talking into the mic.
You weren't.
Oh, shut up. I can't. Watching WWE is cringe worthy, and I don't cringe easy.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, no. But no, I've been digging it. I've been only catching the last hour when I get home from the shop. But I caught a cool Young Buck match against Best Friends, which is not the best tag team name ever, but it was a good match.
What's wrong with the Young Bucks?
What? No, there's a tag team called Best Friends.
Yeah,
Best
they're-
friends.
They're awesome.
They are awesome, but I mean the name.
Stupid name.
Yeah, it's not
a
really.
stupid name.
It is a stupid name.
Monster
like
Zero's a
Brooks.
stupid name.
That's fair.
Well, I didn't want to go by that name.
But your mom had
But some people,
other
some
things in
people,
mind, right?
like somebody was like, "Well, you have to." Gee, I can't imagine who that could have been.
Fucking was it Goliath?
You really should do that. I don't know, Davey.
I don't know, Gravy. The Young Buck. You call him the Young Buck, Raven Shadow. There's two of them.
I didn't call. No, don't wait for a minute to fucking pick on something I say because I have an accent.
What act?
Leaving off an
plural
S.
is an accent?
Yeah, that's on
New England.
That's not how New England accent works.
Don't fucking
Oh
need no
my
plurals.
god!
Don't need no plurals.
No fucking plurals. You know what I'm fucking talking about. Yeah, the Young Bucks. I like them. There was a cool bit of business with Jericho. DDP showed up, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's been in there a few times.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Nice. Was it fucking DDP yogurt? Is that the thing that's going on?
Yogurt.
Yeah.
Did you say DDP yogurt?
Yeah, that's what MZ's on. That's his diet method.
He actually he's missing a huge opportunity if he doesn't make his own yogurt.
I mean, yeah, that's just a license to make money.
Yeah, right?
EP yogurt.
Very funny to me.
This show's really going down the shitter.
It's not
Quick.
good. This is not good.
Oh,
We
one other
focus-
thing. I just got an email actually right before we went on, and looks like there's some exciting news coming out of Fangoria. For those people who have a Fangoria subscription, they just added to it, and it's now called Fangoria Plus, and it's at no extra cost. So if people have a subscription already, it's at no extra cost. I don't know if new subscribers will get this or if it's grandfathered in. It doesn't say that, but it says, we're excited to tell you about a new addition to your current subscription. For no extra cost, you are now a member of Fangoria Plus, which in addition to your quarterly physical magazine also gives you unlimited access to Fangoria.com. When you visit the brand new Fango.com, expect to find careful, constant curation of our favorite links from across the World Wide Web of Terror, long-form pieces, deep dives, and daily thoughts from Tony Timpone, Phil Noble Jr., and more. Scans from the Fangoria Vault, including right now issues number 1 through 5 from our 1979 run, and latest selection of our podcasts and exclusive video content all in one place. So for those who have a Fangoria subscription, check it out. You get some extra little bonus stuff. I thought that was kind of cool.
It's really cool.
Did you guys didn't get the subscription, did you?
I did not, but I wish I did.
No.
It's it's good. I've had the new magazine for a while and I haven't had a chance to even look at it. I've been so busy, but it's Creepshow's on the front cover.
Nice.
Very good.
Oh, by the way, have you guys seen any more Creepshow? Did you see any of it, MZ? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm all caught up.
What do you
Caught up, and so far the stories have gotten better. There's one that kind of rivals their very first episode, the very first short that they showed.
Yeah.
As far as being bad goes, but the rest of them are fairly decent.
Cool.
They're not. I keep on reading a lot of people saying that they don't like it. I do like it. They're holding tight to the aesthetic of what the original Creepshow had. You know, with the flipping pages, the animation, the artwork and everything like that, and it's holding true. I mean, I think it's not as good, because they use a lot of CGI involved with that kind of stuff. It's not hand drawn like it used to be, but so far the stories have been holding up pretty well. But the best story so far this year is their second story from the first episode.
Oh, really? It's still the best one?
Yeah, I still think that's the best one. There's a couple of good ones in there though, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And they started using the like in the original Creepshow, they started using the comic book backgrounds, like with a starburst or spikes coming in, and that whole deal, and it looks good. It looks good. I'm enjoying the hell out of it so far.
How many stories per episode?
2, and there's been 4 episodes I think so far right now. I think 4 episodes, yeah, and each one is about a half an hour long. Yeah, and it's pretty good. Yeah,
On Shudder?
On Shudder, yeah. Yep, and it's worth checking out. Now I got to catch up on Marianne.
Oh yeah, how many episodes of that did you see?
I've seen 3 episodes so far. I think it's up to 5 right now. I think 6 is coming out tomorrow. So I got it on Friday. So I gotta catch up on that too. But so far I'm enjoying that show too. Yeah, it's a French series, and it's already dubbed. All right, so whichever one of you don't like dubs or subs, right?
Whichever one of you.
I don't know which. You know what? It's petty grievances. I don't give a shit who doesn't like what.
Wait. So when we don't like something, it's petty. But when you
Yeah.
don't like something, it's.
There's a reason behind it.
Yeah, no, Aries like subs, I like DOMs. Yeah.
I have a reason behind why I don't like subtitles.
Okay, so you're the one who doesn't like subtitles.
Correct. Why is
Okay.
it so difficult to remember?
I don't remember. Maybe it's because you say you're Mr. Runtime, but yet this is the guy who complains if a movie is less than 90 minutes long. Maybe that's where I'm getting you confused.
Which one can't have peanut butter? Because I'm not sure. Because check your drinks.
So, yeah. I mean, I don't see the problem with subtitles at all. No, I don't. I just don't. I'd rather listen to the original origin of language. I just want to hear that. If a movie's Japanese, I want to hear it in Japanese.
The proper inflection.
Right. If a movie is Spanish, I want to hear it in Spanish. If it's Korean, I want to hear it in Korean.
I think for all our technology, we really haven't gotten the right subtitle mix correctly.
What does that mean?
Well, meaning I don't think it still doesn't it's not seamless.
Like it's not word for word for word.
Well, yeah, I mean you can tell when something's dubbed.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not quite Jones from Police Academy anymore, but still it's not. Well, that is awesome. But no, yeah, I would agree. You really can't. I've never seen an American film dubbed in a foreign language before. You're kind of curious about that.
You probably could find one online.
You could probably find one on your DVD. All you have to do is switch the languages on your DVD, and you'll get it.
Well, fair. I mean, yeah, I guess I could do that, but
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I've never seen what is. I'm fascinated by what does Endgame look like in Japan.
It looks the same.
Yeah, it looks the same. It just sounds different.
Sounds different. Yeah.
And if there's a Japanese dubbing, you can go on there, hit Japanese dub, and listen to it in Japanese.
Wait, have you ever heard?
Presto. Have I?
Yeah.
On occasion, from time to time. I don't sit through the whole film and watch it. Say like I'm going to listen to it in Nordic. I'll just watch a couple minutes of it like that, and then I get annoyed, and then I just go back to English.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a couple Australian pictures that way.
So for some reason, you guys' webcam froze, and I can't get it back. So I may need to hang up the call and have you guys join right back. So.
All right.
Oh, brace yourself, Raven Shadow. We're going off the air for a second.
No, it's fine.
Are you going to be able
What
to?
the fuck?
You going to be okay?
Yeah, I can have a smoke.
No, it should be
Yeah,
should be a matter of seconds.
All right. Do we still talk?
Well, no.
Close your eyes and concentrate. Yeah, continue
Actually-
to talk. Keep yourself occupied.
Hold on. Actually, let me try something. Let me turn your camera off first. Let me see if that works, and then see if I can turn it back on.
We
Because
look much better.
All right, everyone, keep your clothes on.
Touch me there. Wow. My Christmas goose early.
or take them off, whatever.
Take your pants
No.
off.
I'm in this room alone with these guys.
Come on. Be in for a fucking treat. I'll tell you that much.
Jesus.
Picture Shit.
Why are you picturing me?
That's weird. Though.
Yeah, that is
No, it's
weird.
not.
First you wouldn't invite him to
Right?
ghost.
You think too?
Now this. Oh, I got your back.
It was Tom Smythe's party. It wasn't my fucking booking. I didn't book the match.
Leave me and my thongs alone.
Listen, see, I knew it. I fucking knew
All
it.
right, I
pushed
got you
the
guys. I got you guys back. Video's back.
We
Right.
lost me. Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay.
Video's back. I didn't have to do anything. So,
Oh, good.
all right.
Wolfie.
It's because I was fucking with the focus because I was trying to use another program to change the focus, and Skype didn't like that. So, I almost call him Cornelius, so I haven't called him that in a while. Corny says, "What the hell is Raven Child talking about? He wants a protocol droid or what, Wolfie?"
What?
A protocol droid.
For what?
Do you know what a protocol droid does?
Yeah, they can fucking. I want one that fucking speaks Bashi.
Bashi.
Yeah, that's the fucking thing.
Bocce ball.
Bocce, yeah. I want a droid that plays bocce. That's what I want. Yeah.
Balls!
Here's the Polina 3PO. Get close to it. So.
Oh, speaking of which, I don't want to talk about too much about this, but did any of you guys watch the new Star Wars trailer, the final trailer for Rise of Skywalker?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think?
It looks like the Star Wars
Looks
movies
like a
now.
Star Wars movie. I can't wait. Shit's over. Jesus Christ.
Can't wait till this shit's over.
It's fucking thing.
Wait,
No,
what,
it looks.
what do you mean, MZ? What, you can't wait till it's over? Like until this
Ah.
movie? Like you want them to just be done with the Skywalker saga?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want other movies, or you don't care about other movies in Star Wars?
You know what? I don't care anymore. You know, because I mean,
Yeah, because all us Star Wars nerds, we
Fucking
smell.
nerds.
We live in our mom's basement.
You never go out.
Never go out. Yeah.
Stay home.
What other stereotypes can we call forth here?
I don't know. All I have to do is pull up that Conan O'Brien clip, and there's a virtual treasure trove of.
Oh, speaking of Conan O'Brien, did you see Paul Rudd's latest appearance?
Yes, I did.
Can you do it again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was showing
How
off.
I love how Paul Rudd keeps it completely straight. He does not break for a second. It's so funny. It's not just the clip, it's his reaction before and after.
Yeah.
That just kills me.
Yeah, he's showing off his new Netflix series, Living with Yourself. And so, of course, Conan's like, hey, you brought a clip. What can we expect to see? And he sets it up like talking about the actual clip, and then he plays the fucking scene from Mac and Me, and then and then Conan's like, he's like, all right, you brought the real clip though, didn't you? He's like, yeah, I did. I brought it this time. And then he sets it up again, and then they're like, okay, here's the real clip, and they play the same fucking Mac and Me clip, and Rudd does not change.
Even Conan's like, you got the clip, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's done this to him like almost 10 times already.
Yeah.
One of these times they're going to go to that shot and they're going to come back and Conan's going to be choking him.
He'll be dead. It's a bloody fucking Paul Rudd.
I never, you know what? It's amazing how much of an impact a movie like that has on an actor like Paul Rudd. It's astonishing to me because it's like, well, maybe it shouldn't be all that astonishing because he's a bit of a goofball, and the fact that he promotes this movie day in and day out is just, and on Conan is just hysterical to me.
Was he in it, or is he just?
No, he's just a fan.
Okay, all right.
He's just a big fan of the movie.
Is he actually a fan, or does he just find that very funny?
I would think that you have to watch the whole movie.
I don't think you have
Well,
to.
you
I
can
think-
watch the whole movie, not like the movie, and think that is hysterical to keep on bringing that scene.
Yeah, I don't think he has a fucking Mac and Me tattoo. fucking,
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Is that your next
No.
tattoo, Raven Shadow?
it might be. It might be
Mac
fucking-
and Me tattoo. Nice.
Yeah, was that the show that got Brady in a little bit of trouble in the local
Yes.
New England area?
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
All right.
Well, what happened? I mean, not that I give a shit, but what happened?
Oh yeah. I read about that. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently he walks out of like a massage parlor, a la Robert Kraft.
Allegedly.
No, it happened.
Robert
Brady?
Kraft is alleged.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Tom Brady walks out of a massage parlor with a big shit-eating grin on his face.
And it's like clearly, those who don't know, Patriots, owner Robert Kraft may get a little trouble after the Super Bowl.
I can't wait until that video gets released. I cannot.
You want
That's
to see Bob
wanna
Kraft getting a hand job?
oh my
I
God.
want to see. I can just picture him lying on his back, with the towel wrapped around his waist and his big beer belly chest, whatever you call it, torso.
Beer belly
like-
chest.
Is like
Is that how you describe Santa Claus? He had a beer belly chest.
and he's laying on the table, and the poor woman's giving him a hand job, and you could picture his legs stiffening, his arms flopping around like this as he's getting a nut.
You've thought about this. You've thought about this a few
getting-
times.
I have
right now.
Why?
I have because I want to see this.
Why?
Don't ever
Because
say
I
is about to
love-
nut again.
I love
please.
because I have a fascination with
Old men coming.
celebrity. I guess you could say he's a celebrity porn.
Okay, there's other
I-
options. There's better options.
I
Yeah.
know there. Of course, there's always a better option, but Jesus, I mean, this I want to see it. I saw
Wanna
the
see
X-Pac China tape. I saw the Hulk Hogan tape.
Hulk
I saw
Hogan, brother.
I saw the Allison Hannigan tape.
Okay, you I can hear the disappointment in your voice through all this. 100 times worse if you watch the Robert Kraft tape.
Who's Allison Hannigan?
She was from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, the Buffy show? And Buffy also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Is
that-
you're gonna have to send him a link.
Is it on
She,
your phone? Give me your phone.
Give me your phone.
The rapper Eve had one. Who
R.
else?
Kelly,
Well, I haven't seen that, and I don't want to see that.
Kardashian.
Ugh.
All right. What else we got, Johnny?
Yeah,
Well, Raven Shadow was going to give a hot take about the Star Wars trailer. I
Oh,
Yeah,
it was, but then fucking Robert Kraft fucking nutting in a fucking took it
How
fucking
do we
away.
get from A to there? Like, how do we?
Yeah, fucking Paul Rudd was involved. That was bad.
yeah. Somehow Paul Rudd and Mac and me got just went
MZ
haywire.
MZ goes off like a water wheel when he thinks about Mac and me.
Can you blame me? That's a hell of a flick.
So about the trailer.
Oh yeah, fucking, I don't know, fucking yeah. I mean, whatever the fuck. It looked cool. It looked cool. I think they do a great job of not showing anything in the sequence. You know what I mean? It's one of the few trailers. Like, if I want to see a movie, I have no problem seeing a Star Wars trailer because I know like it's
Yeah, they're not
It's all-
going to give it all away.
They
You
don't
know?
give anything away. Shit, there's barely any dialogue. I mean,
Yeah.
there's narration, but there's no dialogue.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I do like the characters in this. I don't know. It's interesting. I thought the coolest shot of the Star Destroyer coming out of the water was good. I like that. I like fucking Kylo Ren.
It's
my boy.
not water, sir. It's ice.
How do you make ice?
You freeze it.
You do understand there's a difference between water and ice.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I can throw a cup of water at you and you're gonna laugh. I throw a cup of ice at you, you're gonna
And
be pissed.
Well,
we're
yeah.
gonna laugh.
Well, to be fair, both would make me a little fucking upset. But yeah, it's good. It's I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just want this whole thing to be done.
It's
man.
never going to be done. It's
No,
never going to be done.
I know. I mean, there's gonna be Star Wars films till the day, long after we're done.
Right.
You know, they'll be doing Star Wars films for the next 100 years probably.
It's no Transformers though.
Yeah.
Transformers the movie. Now that's
Yeah.
a movie, which in and of itself is basically a ripoff of Star Wars.
Transformers the movie?
Transformers the movie is basically a ripoff of Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh, buckle up.
Oh shit! I'm fascinated now.
it's,
Now
no,
I'm
it's
all in.
true. It's true. Think about it.
Uh-oh.
You got a monster planet,
Okay.
Unicron to the Death Star. You got the upstart young fighter who grows up to become the
Leader.
the leader,
A boy's
which is,
journey. Yeah.
right? Boy, okay, good. Boy's journey with Luke Skywalker to Hot Rod becoming Rodimus Prime.
Yep.
You got RC, whose head is shaped just like Princess Leia's in the first Star Wars.
Also, Hot Rod's sister.
Well, no, they're not sisters. They're not brother and sister. They're not brother and sister.
No, I know. I was taking a piss.
Is that what it was? And there's even a scene where you see Hot Rod fighting with a droid, fighting with an android, just like the way Luke Skywalker was fighting with that floaty ball thing. That was.
Did he have even like a laser sword?
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, about that.
I mean, those are just a few of the comparisons, but there's a few more.
I was in the bath the other day thinking about film as the movie. The quiet areas. Don't judge me. I can feel you just looking at me. I can feel
I'm sorry, I heard that statement correct. You were in the bath?
Yeah.
A bubble bath?
No matter what I was in, but it was very relaxing.
Was it ice water?
yeah. I was in ice tub.
Well, he doesn't know how to make ice, so no.
No.
Yeah, no.
You lets the fridge do all the work.
But so the only reason that Hot Rod got the fucking mantle of leadership, right? 'Cause it's supposed to go to Ultra Magnus, right? And the only reason Prime takes the fucking Matrix of leadership out of his fucking chest, which is kind of fucking weird. And the only reason Hot Rod got the mantle was that he caught the motherfucker because it can't touch the ground.
Well, that was a bit of.
That's kind of like that concerns me about the future of the Autobot army, was that all you have to do is touch the motherfucker, like the fucking Blarney Stone, right? Like that just makes you the leader.
The weird thing is that in Transformers the movie is that no matter who ended up with the Matrix, be it Ultra Magnus or Galvatron, is that when you watch them try to open the Matrix to unleash the power of the Matrix, they never do it right. I mean, the Matrix itself was specifically created to be pulled apart in a certain way,
right?
And that was to have their fingers go into the holes that are on the side of the Matrix, on each end, and neither Magnus nor Galvatron did that.
Jeez.
So you got to stick your fingers in Matrix's hole.
That's right. That's right.
Knock the fuck out if that happens.
All 8 of them.
You better
all
be
8
careful.
of them.
Better show us. She says yes. But no, I thought it fell and Hot Rod caught it. Am I making that up?
It fell, yeah, but it never hit the ground. Hot Rod caught it, yeah, and it was a bit of and that was just foreshadowing.
I thought because he touched it, it made sure that.
No.
Are you sure?
Positive.
All right. Yeah, I know
Positive.
you are. I know you are. I remember differently, but I thought because he touched it, he made it so Magnus couldn't open it.
No. He just caught it, and it was just a small scene of foreshadowing, nothing more.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you knew that just by the way he caught it and the way he held it in front of him, and how it was how that scene was presented to us. Because there he is holding it. Like this, and he's got the lights and the gleam and the shimmering lights and everything all around him. That was a bit of foreshadowing to tell you that he was going to be the one who's going to end up becoming the next leader of the Autobots.
Okay.
Which, of course, everybody hated. Everybody knew Magnus should have been the new leader.
Right.
And I always thought it was kind of a shady thing anyway to have Rodimus Prime become the new leader simply because of his name. Because back then, being called a Prime, that wasn't a level of power. That was just his name. It wasn't until later on in the 2007 movie that they decided to call Prime, make Prime the word Prime a rank,
like a Darth, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which I guess for what it's worth, it ain't such a bad idea.
So,
but when Optimus Prime died, Rodimus Prime took over, and I thought that was kind of a bit of a shady thing, because you got Optimus Prime, and then you got Rodimus Prime, and it's like the two words sound so similar that I always felt like they were trying to like put one over on people by saying Optimus to Rodimus, Optimus to Rodimus. I mean, you got that ah sound, and you got that mus at the end. So MUS, you got the so it kind of like blends in together. And I always felt that even back then, back in '86, I felt that's a little shady.
I thought it was kind of whack too. I mean, like, so you get Megatron and becomes Galvatron,
right?
So that all Decepticon leaders have Tron in their name?
No. Well, the first leader was Megatron. Then it was Galvatron. Then, if you want to go into the IDW comics,
The same dude though.
they're the same dude, right? But if you want to go into the IDW comics,
Then it was Joytron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fucking movie. Thank you, Ares.
that's good. You would find out that there's a lot more that nobody named Tron at the end was the Decepticon leader. At one point, Scorponok was the leader. At one point, Six Shot was the leader. Even at one point, Laserbeak was the leader.
The fucking bird.
Yeah, Laserbeak was the leader.
I'm fucking fascinated now. Put that in the movie.
I think it had. I'm almost certain. I didn't read it, but I'm almost certain it has to do with him being able to kill off Omega Supreme.
Wait. A fucking cassette killed off Omega Supreme, who was like a fucking city?
Yeah.
Johnny,
What?
that's dumb, right?
I honestly, I'm glossed over. When you guys talk about Transformers, I'm like MZ, like when we talk about superhero films.
Yeah, but at least these are interesting.
Okay.
Once again, a matter of opinion.
So yeah, I'm excited for the new Star Wars flick. I'll probably see it.
Yeah. How do we get there?
Man, we derailed way too much on this show tonight.
That was all you.
Yeah, that was all you. You went on a 10-minute
You just grabbed the wheel and banked left.
Yeah. Going off the fucking rails on a Transformer train.
No,
He
you
brought
did.
up Transformers.
You did. You said Transformers is like Star Wars.
I wouldn't have brought up Transformers as like Star Wars unless he brought it up first, because he brought up Transformers first. I forget what it was about, but you brought it up
Well,
first.
because busting your balls, because you always say that Star Wars nerds are fucking,
Yeah. Yeah,
losers.
that's right. And then you brought up Transformers.
Because you like that,
Yeah.
and it's fine, but I don't see the difference.
And that was just an off remark, and then you banked left and went, no, it's the same fucking movie. Here, let me go on an hour-long
Yeah,
rant.
really, yeah, but it
Because
really
Optimus
is.
Prime is kind of like Jesus, right? Like, okay, perfect.
Well, we have. Let me catch up. There's a lot of chat going on Facebook. I'm going to change the topic here. Corny says Star Wars isn't ending. MZ Unlimited Star Wars.
I know.
Jim Smith popped in. He says hoping to watch it tonight. I think he means the movie 3 from Hell. Mars says I'm in the bath right now. Ooh. I don't know.
No water, probably.
What to think about
He's
that?
he's just flopping around in the tub with no water.
He's flopping around like a fish. Corny says he had the touch, he had the power, Raven Shadow.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And
You mean Bob Ross?
yeah, and Mars said he's never
The masseuse has the touch. He has the power.
and Mars said he's never fucking allowed to call another thing nerdy ever.
Who says this?
Mars.
Fuck you, Mars.
Corny says Blur should have gotten that Matrix.
Yes.
And he says
He had enough problems with the with Metro transformation cog. He can't even handle the Matrix.
Mars has a lot to say. He says Ares' virginity just grew back. This can't be real.
Wait, what? Why am I getting thrown under the bus here?
No, it has.
Your virginity grew back listening to that is what he means.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And Corny says the tape probably got tangled.
Maybe that was.
Oh, shit. All right. So I'm actually kind of excited to talk about this movie, so I think we should transition.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's wrap things up here. We'll talk about the film, and then, we'll do a little bit of whatever the fuck, as we like to do. Oh, Ares is taking his shirt off.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, shit. Look at this.
What?
Ares rocking the...
Okay. I'm sure you interrupted him. I couldn't hear, but I'm sure you interrupted.
No, he didn't, actually.
But you did.
I want to hear Rave Show. What were you going to say?
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
No, Ares, everybody. Show's over. Q Buster. I'm putting the red fucking light on. It's fucking done. No, you excited? Like you did. No, you did a very melodramatic, look at me, I'm Aries, display of taking your shirt off, kept your hat on, your headphones on, which is very nice, and you have a shirt. Listen,
No.
I know what you did.
I took my headphones off, took my hat off,
No.
took my shirt off like any human being would.
I think it was
Over his head. How do you remove your shirt? I know you have buttons. I don't have buttons, so it's got to come off over my head.
I'm like Right Said Fred. I walked by in front of the bald man to pull it off me. That's what I would do.
I'm so happy I don't
I
understand.
can't
that
believe there was a Right
Wait,
Said
where's-
Fred reference.
Well, where's
Don't
mine?
type that. No, don't type that.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. He puts his.
Yeah, I do that. And the guy that comes in once a week and pulls my shirt off. I do that.
Once a week?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know what that means. But no, I'm saying he's wearing a very cool whiskey. Very cool whiskey, the Breakfast of Champions shirt. And I think you made a point to
I mentioned when I bought this shirt, yes.
You did, yes. But I think you were trying to be very outrageous.
I was not. I was taking my...
Like a
I
splash
found
page.
it warm.
There you go.
I don't need to know the reference, MZ. I'm not watching a Right Said... Right... I don't even fucking care.
Aries is
Look
too
at it,
sexy
he
for
can't keep his eyes off of it.
Aries is too sexy for a sweatshirt.
True. See?
I can't take his eyes off it. All right, let's wind this down. So, if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. Head on over to Patreon. Patreon.com/
I am so sorry.
Patreon.com/ Trick or Treat Radio. And last month we uploaded the live podcast from Rock and Shock 2018. So that's been up for a few weeks. And the next thing we're going to upload in maybe about a week. So maybe just over a week, we're going to upload the new episode. And that's going to be our Police Academy 2, their first assignment film commentary. So that should be an interesting one. So we're going to be putting that out on the feed on Patreon. So if you guys want to hear that, you can go ahead and, if you're not already signed up and supporting us, go ahead to patreon.com/trickortreatradio and you can help support. And so for as little as $5 a month, you get access to all the exclusive content. So give that a look. If you guys want to, you can also support us other ways. Go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click on it. I know Black Friday's coming up in about a month. Christmas is coming up. All the holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, everything all coming up. You guys are going to get out ahead of your shopping. If you shop on Amazon, click on our link, and it's going to bring you right to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. You don't have to do a damn thing aside from clicking on that link. Everything you purchase in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it helps keep the lights on.
Oh, he stepped all over you.
Oh. Exciting.
Well, I guess
that.
I guess Aries took that now. It's his.
Wow.
Yep.
No, that's it. I'm done.
That's it.
Fucking Spain right there. It was like, fuck that.
I rushed it so much I didn't get it all up properly.
So
Like
if you
enthusiasm.
you guys use Amazon anyways, go ahead, click on our link, and go ahead and help support the show that way. And we also have some digital content on trickortreatradio.com. Just click on the store, and you can buy the Trick or Treat Radio Greatest Hits Volumes 1 through 3 and some other stuff on there. So give it a look and help support the show. Also, if you guys have yet to do so, give us a 5-star review. It's actually been a while since we got one, and I would love to get some more. So feel free to head on over to Apple Podcasts and go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. Let folks know why you dig the show, why they might enjoy it, because we're trending upwards on the Apple Podcast charts for some reason. And if you're looking to listen to a new podcast, you see Trick or Treat Radio right there. You see Podcast Z over here, and you're like, man, which one am I going to choose? And you go and you read the reviews, and you see Podcast Z has all these new reviews, and you're like, oh, shit, this show sounds awesome. Look at these new reviews. And you look at Trick or Treat Radio, no new reviews. People might think that we're not relevant anymore, right?
Oh,
Well, we can't have that.
it's a thing, been 7 years in the struggle, in the fight.
Yeah. So I'd love to get some new reviews. So if you guys have never given us a review, go ahead and do so. Click the 5 stars and then leave a few words about what you dig about the show. Let folks know. We would really appreciate it. And also, most of you probably know this, but we're available on Apple Podcasts. We're available on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and the Satchel Podcast Player. And then also, if you guys have Alexa, you can say, "Hey, Alexa, play Trick or Treat Radio." And Alexa will play the latest episode. MZ's tried it. It works.
It does work.
So there you go. So all the ways you can help. And now Raven Shadow is going to help us prepare to talk about 3 from Hell. Raven Shadow, what do you do to prepare for the sequel to Devil's Rejects?
Oh, I get excited and confused because I'm trying to figure out how the fuck are they making a sequel with these characters, because I saw the ending of the previous film.
Are you sure you did?
I did.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, the fucking Butch and Sundance, Thelma and Louise type thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I get excited because, like Monster Zero said, Halloween's approaching. And this fucking dude loves Halloween 3 like a motherfucker. All this dude posted like last weekend was fucking Halloween 3. And it was kind of out of my fucking mind. So because of that, I bought a lot of candy, right? Mm-hmm. And I haven't got my pumpkin yet. Gotta get a pumpkin. I want to carve a pumpkin. So the Halloween gods have, don't have bad juju on my house. But what we did, Marion and I, we tried something different this year and tried carving a turnip.
Okay.
A turnip.
I have my attention.
Yeah. So we haven't carved it yet. We're gonna carve it this weekend. Oh. But I came home the other day and she was working on it and was getting all the turnip guts out. And turnips smell really bad.
Yeah. Well, depending on how you look at it, pumpkins smell really bad too.
That's true, but there's different kind of like I don't know, like the bathroom floor of Moss Isley smell of this particular turnip, like a Moss Isley men's room.
I really want to come over and film you carving a turnip.
Do you want to?
I kind of do.
It's
I
probably
want to put it
Saturday.
up on Patreon.
Really? All right, it's probably Saturday. We got 2 of them.
You got 2?
We got 2, yeah.
That may be premium content.
Do you want to carve with us? Have some whiskey?
No. I don't want to carve. I want to film.
All right.
Okay, but I digress. Go ahead.
All right. No, I'm excited now. So I'm gonna this Saturday. Hopefully we'll get a pumpkin and we'll finish carving the 2 turnips, and hopefully Ayers will come with these pizza flowing.
2 turnips and a twist.
I got 2 turnips and a microphone.
2 turnips and a machete. You gonna use a machete?
Yeah, I'll fucking carve it with a fucking mallet. I'm fucking ready.
And a mallet.
It'd be fun, yeah. Come over on Saturday. It'd be outrageous. So in preparation for that, I gotta see what the fucking dog's barking about, and I gotta fucking strap on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio.
Hey, hooray.
Hooray.
Well, 3/4 have returned.
Oh. Of course.
So here he comes. He's wandering in with a turnip.
Are you going to carve it on air?
Yeah, carve it on there, yeah. Here we go. That's a good idea.
Wait, he's got it next to the mallet. What are you, Gallagher now?
All right, we're going to talk about a movie now, 3 from Hell. This film from 2019 is rated R. It is 1 hour, 51 minutes. Actually, I think it was 55, wasn't it?
Was, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Yeah, it is. And it is a horror film from director-writer Rob Zombie. And the film stars, of course, Sherry Moon Zombie, Bill Moseley, Jeff Daniel Phillips, Richard Brake, Kevin Jackson, Tracy Lee, Sylvia Jeffries. Unfortunately, only a cameo from Sid Haig, or maybe a bit more than a cameo, but certainly not a starring role. And features a whole host of other folks. I'm not going to name them all because I'm sure we'll talk about them as we go through. But there's a lot of cool cameos in this. And, we have like did I mention her already? Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace is in this.
Yep.
Richard Edson, who you guys will remember as the parking lot attendant from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that who that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying
Oh,
to figure
what
out who the
country you think this is?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was actually I was approached. I didn't tell the story on air. I was approached. I was smoking a butt across the street while I was at work, and I was approached, and someone asked me if I spoke English, and I gave that line.
That's it.
And he did. Okay, yeah, totally. And he
Yeah.
didn't. The guy who asked me the question didn't get it.
What country you think this is?
Fair enough.
I will, like, that guy to me is like a legend just from that fucking role of, like, what was he in the movie for, like, 3 minutes?
Yeah, if
Oh,
that.
man.
If that.
If that, yeah. And he is, to me, that's like a legendary, like, appearance. I will never forget that guy because of that.
Well, he's in another movie that I saw.
He's been a lot.
Oh no, I understand that, but the only other movie that I remember seeing him in was in Jury Duty.
Oh my God.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I've seen the movie. I don't recall him in it.
Yeah, he's one of the jurors.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he was
Him,
in.
the other guy.
I mean, he's been in like Mario Brothers. He was in Strange Days, Do the Right Thing.
Yeah, it's not like the guy's hasn't been busy. The guy works.
Oh no, but it's like everything Johnny just said. I remember him in. I do not remember him in Jury Duty.
Yeah.
I guess I've blocked that movie out.
Well, for very good reason, I can't say I blame you.
Well, and his first film was actually a Jim Jarmusch movie, Stranger Than Paradise, which is kind of like a cult film. But he was in that. He was
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
he was one of the main stars in that one.
He was in Howard the Duck. I
Yeah.
gotta look at that.
So yeah, he's been a lot. Yeah, but he was in Platoon, Good Morning Vietnam, 8 Men Out. Like it's a who's who. It's it's a literal, veritable who's who of 80s and 90s films. So yeah, he was in a lot of great stuff. But yeah, he's very.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was wearing one of Rob Zombie's hats.
He had to have been. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that just screamed Rob Zombie to me.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he was just like, "Can I borrow that?" and like put it on for the first shot. Like,
yeah.
And yeah, so there's a lot of great, kind of blink and you might miss some cameos, and also he was in 31. I think was the first time that we saw him in a movie. But Pancho Moller, who was the short little guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in it, and also Clint Howard. Can't forget Clint Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Oh yeah, where he plays the clown.
As the clown, yeah, and obviously Danny Trejo as well was in this, reprising his role of Rondo from Devil's Rejects.
Yep.
So, all right.
Couldn't get DDP. Probably too busy out selling yogurt.
Oh, I do love DDP yogurt. You have to get in like a special like yoga position to eat it though, to like
it's great.
properly digest it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it won't work.
Yeah.
You won't get those antioxidants that are so enriched in DDP yogurt.
Probiotics.
Yeah.
Like the Halloween cells.
I love the synopsis for this movie on IMDb. The synopsis is sequel to The Devil's Rejects. What the
But
fuck?
of course, that can't just possibly be the only synopsis.
Well, on IMDb it is, but I looked on elsewhere and I got another one. The other one,
Well, some more on IMDb.
oh, that's the only one that shows up on the front page.
Yeah, but if you hit it, you'll see a bunch more.
No, that's the only one I saw. So
You'll see a couple more.
I'll read another one that's a little bit more robust. And it says, after barely surviving a furious shootout with the police, Baby Firefly, Otis Driftwood, and Captain Spaulding are behind bars, but pure evil cannot be contained. Teaming up with Otis's half-brother Wilson, the demented Firefly clan escape to unleash a whole new wave of murder, madness, and mayhem. That one's much better. But in a way, I wouldn't call it a spoiler per se, but I know some people got upset that Rob Zombie announced that Sid Haig was not in the film very much because some people thought that was a spoiler. I think it was good because it sets a expectation, because if you're expecting to see a movie starring Sid Haig, because all the marketing materials had Sid Haig as one of the main stars because he was supposed to be. So I think it's good going in that you know that because otherwise you might be disappointed.
Well, people just ended up becoming disappointed regardless.
But I think it was good to come out from.
I think so
from
too.
under it.
I think so too.
He
He wasn't prepared to bullshit anybody. He's saying, it's like Wolfie said. There's a lot of promotional material came out with Sid Haig on the cover, on the posters, and he came right out and because if he didn't say anything, people would be bullshit anyway. Well, he's on the goddamn poster. He's on the covers of everything. He's on, he's there with Sherry Moon and Bill Moseley, and it's like, so where is he? It's like,
well, you know what? But that would have been a nice curveball if all the promotional material would have been the three of them on the poster, and then you find out, 10 minutes into the movie Okay.
Nah, people get pissed off easy.
One way or the other, people are going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the business. I just think that would have been a nice curveball.
Well, at the time, Sid was still with us at the time that he let this news out.
Yeah, he like 3 days after the premiere or something, 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and it's like, he had a good. Rob had a good reason for not having him in the movie all that much. Sid knew he had to be in the movie. Rob knew he had to be in the movie, but given his health at the time, it's completely and totally understandable. And and he said that the whole thing, well, not the whole thing, but a lot of Captain Spaulding's parts were rewritten for Richard Brake's character, and so they just decided to take Spaulding out, altogether, leave him in with a few scenes just to have that connection. But ultimately,
well, I like how they did it. I can definitely see how the original story was written for the three of them just to continue on. But I like how it was done.
Yeah, I think it was done really well.
It was that was surprisingly intuitive. I think it worked out okay.
And even with the way Sid Haig looked for that, it kind of added to it, because he didn't look well at the end.
No, he didn't.
And it added to it, because it was supposed to be. It was 10 years.
10 years has.
Well, actually, we don't know the time frame.
The time frame in the film was 10 years.
Well, no, but the main story takes place 10 years. You don't know when his arc ends.
Right.
They were vague about that.
They mentioned the times they were in. If we're getting ahead of ourselves, Johnny, how long they were in captivity for, and then he had his.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
his thing, and then it went to the current time period.
Because he was a big hulking guy. This guy. He had some mass on him, and then when he showed up, for shoots, and Rob Zombie's like, freaking out, because it's like.
Oh yeah, you're going from me to Raven Shadow here.
Basically, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and he had to. He had to account for that pretty quickly. Like I think he had like literally a week or two to rewrite the script, because he found out that Sid wasn't doing so hot, and he wasn't going to be able to do what the role demanded. So he had to. To be fair, he had to, be pretty agile with that, and I think. All things considered, I think it works. We'll get into more of the nitty gritty, because I do have some issues, but I think overall, being able to salvage it within a week or two of shooting, I think that's pretty fucking outstanding.
Yeah, it was quick writing on Zombie's part, and it served the purpose. It's not a terrible rewrite. It's an acceptable rewrite, and a believable rewrite.
Yeah,
and one that I think that Rob Zombie should be proud of, because he basically saved the character.
Yeah. And one thing, I actually didn't know this. Marion just piped in the chat and said Richard Edson was Sonic Youth's original drummer. I had no fucking clue.
Sonic Youth?
Wait, the half brother?
No. The guy who was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was the original drummer of Sonic Youth from like 1980, 1982.
Jesus,
that's crazy. I had no idea. Wow.
Can we get him on the show?
I don't know.
Give him a call.
Yeah,
all right.
Go ahead.
You guys are tight, right?
Yeah, we're fucking boys.
You steal his lines and everything.
Yeah. I'll do lines with them.
Jesus.
Would.
He fucking does, right? Or did, at least in the 80s. Come on now.
It was the fucking 80s. Who didn't?
That's fair.
me, Aries, I didn't.
No. Oh, I guess I'll go fuck myself then.
Prude.
Yeah.
Oh, you're 13.
Thank you so much for that.
All right, so let's hop into this one, because I think I don't remember what everyone thought, and I don't think Aries was around for 31. You didn't review that one with us, did you, Aries?
I did. No.
Okay, so we were all, if I recall correctly, pretty down on 31.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, it was not a good movie, and there was like a few redeeming qualities. The number one, I think, redeeming quality was Richard Brake's performance in it. You know, I thought he was the best part of the movie.
It was him and Freddie Boom Boom Washington.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's right. So
Really, he was in it?
Yeah. He looked good too.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, he
Right?
did. He did look.
He did look good, right?
Yeah.
So we did, we did that, and I think we're all really down on it. It was a really bad movie. Like, from my perspective, it was really bad. And
not even like shelling it because I know there's weird, camps of it's who will shell Rob Zombie just to do it. But I think it was disappointing.
Yeah, that's the thing is up to this point. I mean, he love him or hate him, he's made some interesting movies. Came out of the box with House of a Thousand Corpses. Like that one was like holy shit. And then Devil's Rejects, and he did I don't know what was next chronologically, but he did Halloween, and then or maybe Lords of Salem came before Halloween.
No. It was Halloween. It was
we were doing.
I think it was Super Beasto. I think it was Super Beasto after Devil's Rejects, and then Halloween 1, Halloween 2, then Lords of Salem.
We were doing the show
31.
when Lords of Salem came out.
Yeah, we just started.
Yeah,
31, and now 3 from Hell.
Oh yeah, and he also did. I mean, this is just a short thing, but he did the fake trailer for Werewolf Women of the SS, which I thought was fucking awesome.
They really got to make a movie
from Grindhouse. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't. So, and he also did an episode of CSI Miami, which I never saw, which is pretty fucking interesting. And yeah,
I think he even did a Downey commercial.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, was it him? Yeah, it might have been. So
I think he did a Downey commercial.
Now you can.
I thought you were bullshitting.
No, I'm serious.
Okay.
You can see a trend in Rob Zombie's work. Like he started out like House of a Thousand Corpses was in theaters. Like that got a pretty wide release. If I'm not mistaken, I think Devil's Rejects also did. Yeah, because I saw it in the theater.
I got a wider release.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, so I definitely did. And then Halloween obviously was probably his most successful, or mainstream, I should say. Maybe not most successful, but most mainstream. So he reached this kind of pinnacle, and then I think Halloween 2 got panned. A lot of people really disliked that. Yeah. And then that began to sort of start this downward trend, if you will. Now, Lords of Salem is a very polarizing film. I really enjoyed it, but, a lot of people didn't like it. They thought it was a little bit too weird. And
I love Lords of Salem.
Yeah, I like it too. And then 31 was the next one, and in our eyes, 31 was pretty bad. So he's kind of had this downward trend a little bit in terms of public opinion. So 3 from Hell, continuing the storyline of the Fireflies, it's interesting that he went this way because I love the end of Devil's Rejects. Like, I think it's just a perfect way to end the film.
Yeah.
It had to. That was the only way to end it.
So,
yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, what the fuck is he going to do here? Like, how is he going to do this? Now, obviously, in films, and you can make anything, you can do anything you want, especially if you own the property, you own the characters, you can do whatever the fuck you want, and that's your vision, So, but I was really interested to see what he was going to do with this. And right out the gate, I got to say, I love the documentary style.
Yes.
The newscast, if you will, maybe less documentary, more newscast, but it brought me to that era, and I loved it. Like I was like, yeah, like I remember when we were kids, growing up in the '80s, we saw shit like that, like special reports or like I just remember seeing stuff like that, and it was really well shot, and it looked of the time, and I just thought it was really endearing, and I really enjoyed that.
Well, that's the one thing. That's one of his strengths is being able to recreate the old 70s newsreel footage, 80s newsreel footage. Even during the opening credits of House of a Thousand Corpses, he has like he recreated old footage of morgue. Of morgue workers working on a body,
right?
And it looked so goddamn real. It looked like it looked like something out of Traces of Death. You know, it looks straight out of that, and his eye to be able to capture what the 70s newsreels look like and the 80s newsreels look like is really quite astounding, and it could easily pass for the real thing, easily.
Yeah, I thought it looked great, and it was a great way because immediately it pulled me in, and I'm thinking, okay, like I like this, despite, you know, maybe have some issues with how they were sort of brought back, I guess, if you will. Now, actually,
yeah.
So that's the beginning of the movie. This is no spoiler. Like, what did you guys think of the way that they were brought back? Was it kind of like retconning? Was it cheesy? What were your guys' impression of that?
I was actually fine with that. As far as the whole suspension of disbelief for movies, 100% believable. Like that, any action star, it's, you know, 100% believable that you could survive what they went through, and it just kind of put like a more realistic spin on the whole. Okay, I just got shot 100 times. Yeah, I'll walk it off. You know, it was just. I mean, granted, you know, it's still far-fetched. We're still talking the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
But it was believable.
And I would agree too. Like when they show, I mean, yeah, they were each shot like 20 times. And they showed like where all the bullet holes, and it's having to miss every organ that they had. From once again, from a movie perspective, you know, we've seen that before where people get, you know, kicked and beaten and still fucking going. Like for a movie like this, it made sense to me.
I agree that, you know, while it's highly unlikely to survive that, it is possible.
Right. I mean, you're not going to survive it, but for a movie,
no, it is possible. I mean, look at 50 Cent. He got shot like 6,000 times and he's still kicking. So I mean, it's highly unlikely to survive, but it is possible. The possibility is there. What I didn't like is how I just felt that they kind of glossed over it a little bit too much. It was like, you know, a discussion about it for possibly 3 minutes of the movie, and that was it. And I really kind of wish they went through a little bit more of the rehabilitation process, maybe some of the surgeries and removing bullets and things like that.
Yes, because rehabilitation is damn entertaining.
Yeah, and the movie wasn't long
Watching
enough.
a motherfucker walk holding sticks. Damn entertaining.
I would think watching Otis Driftwood. I would think watching Otis Driftwood. Will you shut up?
No,
shut up.
Supporting you.
I think the idea of watching Otis Driftwood try and accept rehabilitation from people, from doctors, in order for him to survive, I think that would have been highly interesting.
Well, no, because then you run into the problem where you have someone who won't listen to doctor's orders, but yet he 100% rehabilitates.
Rehabilitates. But that's all because he has no choice. He's left in a situation where he has no choice.
Like I picture Captain Spaulding in a pool with water wings.
But you're saying that it would be entertaining to watch him like defy the doctors.
Well, the thing I don't get is why didn't they make this a 10 episode series and have 8 episodes of rehab? You know.
I mean, you guys can make jokes all you want. I think it would be interesting to watch.
It would be a little entertaining to watch him to tell the doctors to fuck off. But beyond that, in order for someone to rehabilitate,
yes.
You need to listen and do what you're told. That is not a character that listens and does what he's told.
Exactly, which is why it would be so interesting.
But that would ruin the suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, but to me, like the thing is, it's a throwaway thing because ultimately it doesn't matter. They're essentially like if you will, like sort of like Jason Voorhees. Like it doesn't matter. It's just like it was.
That's a bit of a stretch, dude.
It isn't that much of a stretch.
No.
If you dive
it's not
much
at all.
in how, it raises too many questions.
Right. That's a bit of a stretch. No, because Jason Voorhees is a supernatural being of sorts.
So are these. They are essentially.
No. Let Johnny talk.
They're essentially supernatural characters because they're going to continue to live on no matter what. Like that's just the way it is. That's what Rob Zombie grew up on. that's what this movie is. That's what this series is about, really. I mean, I know some of the Fireflies have died, but these characters, these three, are the heart of it. Well, take out Sid Haig, obviously, and but that's sort of what they are. They're unstoppable forces, and it's interesting that sort of Rob Zombie got to do the Halloween remake, and he got to explore what made Michael Myers an unstoppable evil force. But I thought that was interesting. But you don't need to explain that. It's just one of those things that is. If you spend time on it, you get away from the purpose of the movie.
Hey, if you don't want to have it explained, that's fine. Personally, I think it would have been nice. I mean, if you're gonna run a movie that's nearly 2 hours long, I think having a little bit, even for just 30 seconds or 45 seconds of, a couple of, a montage probably of
montage.
Motherfucking montage.
Just to see how they would cope with dealing with.
But we know how they're going to cope. Fuck you, doctor, and they're going to kill the fucking doctor. So we know how they're going to cope.
Isn't that the whole? I mean, it really isn't that the whole idea?
No, because you get enough of that in the movie. If you get them telling the doctor to fuck off, it kind of ruins that. Okay, if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, how are they getting better?
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
You shut up. You're all the way from Maryland.
And you know what?
Shut.
You're kind of diving into everything that every fucking remake does to these fucking good movies.
Yeah.
They give...
Oh, fuck you.
Rather than just let the viewer figure out how someone survived, whatever, they need a reason.
Yeah, we don't need it. It doesn't matter.
All right.
So you're looking for a fucking remake before they even fucking remake it here.
I just want to see some rehab. That's all.
That's a fucking remake.
Oh,
they always fucking do that shit in the remake.
Go to the Betty Ford.
Wait.
Send them to the Betty Ford clinic.
If we're gonna go by that theory, then how come I get so much shit when I want to find out how the goddamn tire got wrapped around the zombie in the stains, red or whatever it was called? How come I get shit on that?
How did Otis get a comb in jail? His hair is so flowing. I don't understand.
Jesus Christ, you fucking people.
Okay. I love how your defense is something I wasn't even involved in.
Well,
I'm the one who's attacking you.
And-
And your defense is something I wasn't even involved
Well, that's your problem.
in. That's your problem.
No, that's your problem.
Oh,
Jesus.
shit.
All right. And Act 2 of the movie.
All I want to see is a little rehab, and people are shitting in their pants over it. Calm the fuck down, everybody.
Well, because you're diving into shit that, like, the remake involves.
What remake? What are you talking about?
Well, the remake they're going to make and figure out how they survived. You know what? I don't care why Jason popped out of the lake at the end of the movie.
You know, this doesn't happen too often, but he's starting to make more sense than you are.
Thank
Why?
you.
Well, you know what?
Because he's not
movies
talking.
don't make sense.
Because he's not talking. That's why.
Timestamp, Johnny.
Slasher movies don't make sense. I don't know why Jason popped out of the movie at the end, and I don't care.
No, nobody does care.
You apparently care.
What?
You want to know why he rehabilitated?
If you can't even say the word, you don't even have an argument.
Heals himself.
You can't even say the goddamn word.
Apparently, he was running on a treadmill at the bottom of the lake.
Although very well.
It's what?
You know,
What?
he ordered a Peloton, and he's.
He ordered a Peloton. Oh shit! I need to see that. I need to see fucking Jason Voorhees riding a Peloton.
But on the video screen, he's running through Camp Crystal Lake and everything.
Yeah.
But none of those, aside from like say Freddy, but Michael Myers and Jason weren't supernatural to begin with. Their supernaturality was on purpose.
Wait, what did you just say, MZ, about him? You believe him more now?
Yeah.
You agree with him?
No.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to stand with him. I like that word.
Supernaturality.
I can't say it.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But I like it.
But that came over time, right? That came over with
Oh, yeah.
sequels and stuff.
I mean, and that
sure.
that is shit that, you know what? It exploded in in the Scream movies, where like once you get into the third sequel, you get into supernatural.
Yeah.
Right. So theoretically,
And you know what?
The problem with Halloween is that it's already said that he is evil. That Myers is evil. He's evil.
Evil isn't supernatural.
He's evil.
Evil isn't supernatural. Charles Manson was evil.
Not supernatural. See?
I'll bang that shit right now.
Yeah. Hitler was evil.
Oh,
Not supernatural.
Let's here we go.
Yes, great.
We're fucking best friends.
Why don't you go fist each other? Why?
Wow.
Fisticuffs.
Go hang out with Bob Kraft. So yeah, supernaturality.
Supernatural.
Is that like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
Yeah. New stuff.
So
Oh, yeah.
MZ wants to see them in rehab. All right, that's where we're at. Yeah.
The fucking credit's still rolling right now. The movie hasn't even fucking started yet.
I have to go back to my notes. I don't remember where we were. So we're talking about them surviving. Now, obviously, as we talked about with Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding obviously was not going to be able to be featured heavily in this movie because of his health. So just putting it out there, we won't say too much more about that. But I thought the way they did it was fine. Like it was very matter-of-factly, but that's almost what you'd expect. Like once again, I don't need a backstory about their half brother, Coltrane. What do they call him? Something Wolfman.
Foxy. I think it was. Wolfman.
Something Wolfman. It was something else. I can't remember. But yeah, so it was a little jarring, but I totally understand why they had to do it, because if Sid can't do it, like the movie doesn't really, if it's just Baby and Otis, it's not as strong, right?
Yeah, Two from Hell doesn't have a.
Well, it's not the fucking name. You could do Two from Hell, but it would change the story a lot.
Yeah, just a bit.
But I think the way they did the framing of the newsreels and the documentary set up the way they did with the ending of Captain Spaulding. I think it tied in perfectly for the story to really in there, and that was the great magic trick about it.
Yeah, and I thought they did a good job with that. And I actually really loved the first 12 minutes when it was all like this sort of newsreel. Like I thought it was really great. Not that I expected the entire film to be like that, but I was sort of brought in, and I was like, okay, I like this. I like what he's doing here. This is a cool way to sort of take it. And as we'll find out, he kind of tackles several different genres in this one movie in a way, or maybe not genres, but different style of filmmaking, which I could see it being a little overkill at times, because it's sort of like this like documentary style newsreel, and then it becomes almost like a woman in prison movie, and then it becomes like a road movie, which Devil's Rejects is kind of a road movie anyways, but
and then a home invasion, which is the class.
And that was sort of that was sort of in there. I actually wanted to read I wanted to read this because this is a lot of times critics are far more eloquent than I am. So I read one review that I thought summarized it fairly well. I'm just going to read like a paragraph, and it says, this is actually from RogerEbert.com, from Scout to Foya, and Scout says, Three from Hell is a few different movies in one, starting as a lovingly crafted 70s cable news cycle as Zombie catches the audience up on things so far, then becomes a Susan Hayward prison movie with Baby squaring off against the warden, allowing Dee Wallace to play a rare villain with visible relish. Baby breaks her nose, and she spends the rest of her screen time with Jack Nicholson's facial bandage from Chinatown, starring with deranged focus from behind the gauze. The hostage situation seems to deliberately ape Robert Endelson's Fight for Your Life, one of the more obscure video nasties. Would you agree with that, MZ?
Yeah, it's a great flick.
Yeah, I know you like
guys,
that one.
Oh, it's so good. Check it out.
And then Richard Brake and Bill Moseley get to settle into their characters holding the warden's family and friends hostage. Once the trio hits the road, the film becomes Zombie's riff on Sam Peckinpah's The Wild Bunch as its first cover version, Walter Hill's Extreme Prejudice. Each of these sections only suffers by dint of being too short, almost like Zombies crafted a stylistic omnibus and filled in the whys later. It's intoxicating seeing him trying out so many moods and modes, powered purely by the sadistic glee his cast brings to their roles. So I just thought that was a good way of putting it. Like, I don't know film as well as this reviewer, so I just wanted to kind of like use that as a kind of jumping off point, because it is sort of like three different movies in a sense. Now, I don't think it's perfect. I think it could have used more editing. I think he could have, taken a little bit more. I just think it was a little bit too much at times. I think, and now granted, I know it's his fucking wife. I know it's his muse, but some of the slow-mos of her are just goddamn excessive.
Yeah. The use of Sherry Moon Zombie in this movie in itself just was excessive. Her dialogue was nauseating at best. She kind of mixed in between her baby from House of a Thousand Corpses with her baby attitude in Devil's Rejects and came out with what you got here in Three from Hell.
Yeah.
But she comes out. The problem, man, the problem with Rob Zombie and dialogue is that it's not organic. When he did House of a Thousand Corpses, he just wrote a script, wrote some dialogue for every character, and said, "Okay, now go with it." And out of that came a couple of choice lines that people like to say every now and again.
Fish boy.
Yeah, they like to recite some lines that came from that movie. The only gripe I have about Devil's Rejects is the dialogue was absolutely not organic. Is that it was loaded with lines that he was hoping that everybody would get to say all the time, and that it would give that movie some punch to it. It would make people remember it. And that's exactly what he did here as well. He did the same exact thing. Dialogue is absolutely just not organic. It's just loaded with sayings and lines that he hopes that fans will recite over and over and over.
And you know what? Like, I agree with you to a point, but I think it also fits his world. Like, that's kind of the style that he's built up. It's almost like this sort of like mixtape, and he really enjoys the exploitation films of the 70s and a lot of the, like, it takes a lot of influence from that. And that's what it kind of reminds me of from what I know of it. So, I think he likes building these scenes that are memorable or these lines that are memorable, whether or not they feel natural or not. Like, that's up for everyone to decide. But I think that it fits in with the tone and world that he's built. So for me, it doesn't seem out of place, but I get what you're saying, but it doesn't seem out of place necessarily.
It's not out of place. It's just fucking annoying.
That's a matter of personal opinion. I will agree that these lines are forced at times, where they were like, you need to say this line. I don't care what comes before or after. This line needs to be said because this is the important line here. This is the quotable line. This is what I want to be remembered in this movie. And there's just a whole lot of that, especially in the hostage sequence.
Oh yeah. I agree. And Baby as well. And Baby got way too much screen time. It's one thing, like you said, Johnny, to have your
wife or muse, yeah.
It's another thing to have her as the lead character, the starring character. She gets top billing over Bill Moseley. That blew my mind.
Well, if 1/3 a movie is a female prison movie and one of three of your leads is a female, it's kind of obvious who's going to get the billing in that.
And she's probably in the film the most by way of all the slow-mos. Like that.
Well, just by having that female prison aspect of the movie, that just
Yeah.
that knocked her up as far as screen time.
I mean, she kind of was the focus in a way. Like, I wouldn't go so far as to call it a heist, but they almost were like performing a heist trying to get her out, or at least a deal, not a heist, I guess. But, so she was.
I would call that a heist.
Yeah, she was kind of like the focus of the story, at least for the first half almost. So I could see that. I mean, I don't have a problem with her being billed higher, because if you're going by screen time, I think she's probably in it the most. But yeah, I mean, typically you would think that the most well-known actor would get top billing, but I don't know. It's just splitting hairs, I think. But so we have, like I said, I love the documentary newsreel style. I thought that was super effective. The part where it started to lose me a little bit was that it was literally like maybe 30 to 40 second slow-mo of Sherry as she's going in for the a parole hearing, and they were like playing like a song, and I can't remember what song it was, but she's going in for the parole hearing, and honestly, like, I love the parole hearing scene, because I remember, MZ, I know you watch this, Charles Manson every year, every time he was up for parole. I remember you talk about it. Like, that's something you enjoyed watching, and that's not something we get anymore, as far as I'm aware. There's so much news coverage now of like day-to-day things that stuff doesn't matter as much,
Yeah, she totally mimicked Manson.
Yeah.
It was an amalgamation of a few of his parole hearings, but yeah, she basically mimicked that.
Yeah, but that's where it started. Go ahead, Aries.
Oh, I mean, though I do like how she played that, I don't necessarily like that was done there, because although I mean, this is a personal opinion, I feel Manson was toying with the parole here, the parole people, because he didn't want to get out. He was content where he was. He just wanted to f with people. I don't necessarily believe that the character of Baby was doing that same thing, where like she wanted to get out. She was just, it was the same feeling but different reasons. So I'm not 100% behind that.
It's almost like a bit better if she tried to be fucking.
Well, that's the problem. I think she was trying to be Manson, but for what reason? Like, Manson, like I said, my personal opinion, Manson wanted to stay. She would want to get out.
That's me. I think it would have been better if she kind of tried to, like, have her being the cocky, walking in, and have her try to be like, I understand, like trying to work the angle where she is reformed.
Correct.
But, that more and more questions.
You mean after rehab?
Yes.
That's why I have the problem with her, like, playing the whole Manson part, where I don't think she'd be content. I would actually be more if you watched a rehab with Mosley's character. I think he would be more playing the more Manson role in that.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with that, and I think they probably did that swap just because he wanted to do a women in prison type of film. But yeah, I think Otis's character would have been a better proxy for Manson if they wanted to go that route.
And I think in this world, there is no Manson. Maybe it's these guys.
I'm not saying there is. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, yeah, if he wanted to do something like that, he was certainly channeling that.
They did toy with that a little bit with him.
Yeah.
So one comment in the chat room I got to read from First Time Mike. He's hanging out now, and he says they should make a 6-issue comic series called Firefly Family Rehab by Dark Horse Comics.
Yes,
I agree with that.
MC, would you buy that?
No. I'd rather watch it in a movie.
All right, so let's see. We're getting further along here. So yeah, so we had a bunch of cameos as mentioned: Dee Wallace, Daniel Roebuck, Clint Howard, Danny Trejo. Now, I haven't seen Devil's Rejects in a while. It's been years. Do you guys remember Danny Trejo's character? He was Rondo.
Yeah.
Now, he was like a bounty hunter with DDP, right?
Yep. Yeah, he was there to take down the Firefly family. Oh, while over at the the whore ranch that Ken Foree's character took care of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's when they started getting into the fights. DDP's and Danny Trejo's characters were shooting up all the whores, and just basically manhandling the Firefly family.
Yeah. So this is and his inclusion in this film is kind of a big plot point. So when Bill Moseley, when Otis, breaks out of prison, he's doing I guess like I don't know. First of all, I don't know why he get let out, but anyways, he's doing like public service or something like that, digging.
Yeah, going out, picking up trash, digging ditches and stuff.
Digging ditches, yeah. And so while out there, we have we finally meet the Wolf Man. Once again, I can't remember his first his full name in this, but I guess he also
Winslow Foxworth.
Yeah, but his nickname was something Wolfman. But so anyways, yeah, Winslow Foxworth Coltrane, Richard Brake's character, shows up, and then he Otis breaks out, and in the process of kind of killing everyone. And this is also shot on video, which I thought was cool. And the news anchors were like, this is graphic footage, that's the kind of thing that we've seen before. And I thought that was a cool scene that they did that. And in that, Danny Trejo's Rondo character gets killed by Otis. So, that does come back later on. I don't know if we want to talk about specific plot points, but I thought that was cool. But it's almost like a throwaway character is included just to build the plot off of. And I just thought it was a little bizarre. Not bizarre, but a bit of a stretch, maybe.
I kind of like that because I definitely saw that going somewhere, because the inclusion of that, I was like, that's going to be something.
What's funny, it could have gone either way. I mean, Danny Trejo could just be, it's Danny Trejo, he's in a movie, and now that happened.
I mean, it would have been great if it was just there he is, he's gone. Right. But you know what? I've seen a couple movies.
That's true.
Yeah, no. So it's just, I just was like, that's going somewhere. That is going to be a plot point.
Yeah, and honestly,
I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's non-traditional, because you typically don't see like something like that and then come back later on to be kind of a major plot point. So I'm not really complaining. It just seemed like an interesting decision. One other thing I meant to mention, MZ, I'm surprised you didn't bring this up yet, but the film is narrated by Barry Bostwick.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until the end. I'm like, oh shit, that was Barry Bostwick.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, Barry Bostwick, man. I you know what? And because of that, I didn't even. I'll have to watch it again just to hear the narration a little bit. I'm like, holy shit, that's Barry Bostwick.
Yeah, I didn't pick up on it when he was talking.
Yeah.
When his name popped up, I'm like, what the fuck was he in the movie? I had to look it up.
Yeah, like Barry Bostwick.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like,
I didn't either. Like, honestly, watching, I had no idea, but it was while looking through the credits. So,
and let me give credit to whoever did hair and makeup, because I didn't realize until the scene where Greta D. Wallace's character and the sheriff are in his office that was D. Wallace.
I had no idea.
That was it is fucking difficult to make her look ugly.
Oh yeah.
And she looked hard.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that was her.
And when I realized that was her, I'm like, it's D. Wallace.
Yeah. There was
no
something.
idea.
There was some facial expression she made. It might have been in the sheriff's office when you realized it, but I was like, holy shit! Like, I don't know what it was, but something made me realize that was her.
Yeah, somebody in hair and makeup deserves an Oscar or something, because I had zero clue. I knew she was in the movie, but it just didn't register with me that was Greta. Then that was D. Wallace. I'm like, holy shit, that hell of a performance.
I think I realized when she was taking her to, when she took her out of solitary and was bringing her down the hall, like that's when I sort of like, because I actually didn't know for a while, and I was like, holy shit, is that is that Dee Wallace? And I looked it up, and sure enough, so it did. Yeah, it was a transformation because I didn't recognize for a while. But I think Rob Zombie has a habit of doing that with great genre actors, bringing them in for these bit roles where they're playing characters that you might not normally see them as. Like he's done some really cool things with with some characters like that. So it's cool to see Dee Wallace in that role because you don't really see her in that role very often, if at all. So I thought that was cool. So, and then. Yeah, so I mean, we get a lot in this. I mean, there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of pretty interesting, cool characters, and then as they're on the run, I don't know. I hesitate to say. Do you guys want to say where they go, or should we keep that secret? It's not like a huge spoiler, but
that's when business picked up for me.
Yeah,
when we see a particular character. Maybe we're getting too far ahead, but.
Well, if you're in Texas, I mean, it's not a stretch to imagine that you're gonna go hide out in Mexico, right? So that's, I don't think it's a big deal.
Before we get there, I mean, so
too late.
It's the 70s, and now we're
80s, and when the movie is taking place.
88.
Yes,
made a point to say.
Yep.
Now I get maybe some of the. Sorry for those who live down there, but I guess maybe the South, a little bit different maybe, but I didn't really see any difference once they were, it's 1988. Like even the warden looked the exact fucking same. His house looked right out of the 70s. It didn't look, nothing about that made it to be 88. I can figure maybe for the time jump, for them to be fully healed from their assaults, and that got them to kind of give time for Otis to work out in prison and them to be at full power. That makes sense to me, but none of that seemed like it was 88.
I mean, I'll give you that there was no portrayal of time in the movie.
Right.
No, none.
But as far as the house not portraying the year it was supposed to be, people at some point stop decorating their houses.
Fair.
I mean, look at your posters in this fucking room.
Yeah.
There's nothing from the last 10 years around you right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Spider-Man's 2002.
10 years. I just said 10 years.
That's 17 years, dude.
I mean, I did not have to stretch that far to prove to you that people stop decorating after 10 years.
Well, he's got the survival of the film freaks up there. I don't know if that counts.
Thank you.
One fucking poster. One tiny little poster that the only reason it's there is because he has it signed.
Yep.
No, they made a movie. It's nice. It's the fucking
Okay,
thing,
I mean, that was...
no, fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just using this room to make a point.
Well,
this room could be... Take that poster away. Yeah. This room could be 10 years ago.
Well, so for the fucking video camera and the
15
microphones.
years ago.
That room's frozen in time.
Yeah, but I mean...
Like a bug in a jar.
No matter where you go, there you are.
You could film this room today or 10 years ago without much difference. These microphones could be from the 80s.
Yeah.
Right. These are just simple Shure microphones.
The one VHS you have hanging around is fucking dudes.
You have a VHS. You have a VHS.
Well, yeah, it's the fucking room. I got a fucking, we got the flat screen out there. I got a fucking microwave.
Don't split hairs that house didn't look like it was from the 80s. That looked like from the 70s.
Well, yeah, but I think, Johnny, all right, Aries has been drinking. Okay? We can all agree.
I can't deny that, but you also can't deny I'm not wrong.
He also gets smarter when he drinks, though, to be fair.
It's true. And then...
Okay, no, timestamp.
And then I was also going to say, well, the warden didn't change his wardrobe or hairstyle in those years.
The warden and the wardrobe?
I know. Yeah.
For those only listening, I'm pointing like a motherfucker at him. I'm injuring my fingers pointing so hard.
It hurts the way you're pointing. Yes, aside from, I grew back my old hairstyle, so yeah. All right. Whatever. I mean, 88, fuck it.
Yeah, but so what? I mean...
Oh, no, that I'm in agreement with that. That people just stop at some point.
I agree.
They just get off that fashion train.
Yeah, I agree.
I work with a motherfucker who still like wears sweatpants and pulls them up above his calves.
You're next to a motherfucker who still wears sweatpants and pulls them up by his calves.
You don't do that, do you?
I'm wearing jeans.
Yeah. Well, this.
Johnny.
Don't call for him.
Oh yeah, no, he's doing something important.
No, he wears 2 pairs of sweatpants usually. Sweatpants with cutoff sweatpants over them.
Yeah.
So.
What are you in Goonies?
I don't even know what we're talking about.
Oh, the fact that the passage of time was not, shown here. It
didn't portray it. They actually had to
matter.
physically say it.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, they do. At one point, they do say because it was Otis had been missing for he had escaped like a month ago. They said it's been a month since Otis or whatever, and they were laying low. So there was some discussion, but yeah, I mean it doesn't really matter. This is just
Yeah, there's a small scene where Baby talks about how she's been in the clink for 10 years. Yeah. I think she was talking to Greta at that point.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's my only issue is that they have to actually say it. You don't get that feeling of time passing.
No, you don't feel it at all.
And that's a difficult thing to do, to show time passing in a shorter period of time. So that's a small gripe with this movie.
And interesting, I wonder if that's something they had to throw in there because of the change in
with Sid, yeah, and it could have been because
that very well could be.
Yep.
Kind of like in G.I. Joe the movie, like Duke's okay, he's out of the coma, like from the voice.
Yeah,
motherfucker was hit in the chest by a fucking snake.
Yeah,
fucking missile, whatever the fuck it was, spear.
But actually, you know what? That's a good thought to come up with a reason for Sid Haig that time needs to have passed.
Yeah,
yeah, because he didn't have how he passed back then. What are you me for? His what is the matter with you? His departure was taken care of in a very modern way at the time.
Okay.
So there.
So there.
How about that?
So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a big focus, but the time thing, whatever. So then they end up in Mexico, and that's where we get to see, what was his name again? Richard Edson. We get to see him show up, and and I won't say too much about what happens there, but I think it's. I guess it was predictable, like a little predictable, but there was some things thrown in there that wasn't that predictable, like who the villains were eventually. Like I thought, obviously, I like that, right? Which I thought was kind of a cool thing, but to me, it just. I guess I'll get to this in my verdict because there's a lot I liked about this movie. I will say that. I thought there was some good stuff in here, and I kind of like that he was a little all over the place and tried to make kind of several different movies in a sense of, like showing different styles. I thought that was also kind of cool. So, and there was some highlights. I did like, despite the cultural appropriation, I did like Sherry Moon Zombie with the headdress on and the bow and arrow, and she was hiding in the corner of the room.
Oh yeah,
with the arrow in the head. I thought that was pretty fucking awesome. That was a great scene and some good gore in that. So I think that there was a lot of pretty cool stuff in this. Like I said, the end was a little predictable and contrived based on where things went, but other than that, like I think it's better than I expected, I guess.
I feel that the addition to Richard Brake's character, let's see, how do I put this? I think he took a lot of the steam away from the Otis Driftwood character, because in House of a Thousand Corpses, he was obviously the man, the one to worry about the most, and he pulled it off with a comic book sort of glee, but it worked for the time and it worked for the movie that he was in. And that was ratcheted up in Devil's Rejects, to the point where he was really getting kind of scary. Particularly the scene. I mean, I was afraid to the point where he was going to start attacking members of his own family. Like the scene where they're driving down in that big van, and Baby puts some ice cream on his nose.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure, I was like, oh shit, because at this point, the Driftwood character has completely cemented itself in pure sadistic, evil intentions, no matter who the person is. And just from something that's so
Minuscule,
juvenile.
yeah.
Well, no, but juvenile. To do that to somebody like Otis Driftwood, and the look on his face, I was just waiting for him to fucking explode at that point. He didn't, but it's just that feeling that I get because of the way that character was built up. In this movie, I feel that the Richard Brake character, whatever the name is, I think he took a little bit of this.
Midnight Wolfman was
Midnight Wolfman.
Yeah.
That's it. I think he took a little bit of the steam out of Otis Driftwood, where it wasn't just Otis being the leader and everyone else follows behind him. It became Otis and Midnight Wolfman became the leader, and Baby was slightly behind, but she was also getting a little bit crazier too.
Yeah, she was a wild card.
But I think it was very obvious who was the more dominant out of the two of them, and Otis made no mistake about it. And I think even Baby, it's like, yeah, it's just the two of us. He's like, but there's three of us. It's like, yeah, three of us. Like basically, like I think he used the Wolfman as more of a tool, as a vessel, as something that can help them in their cause.
No, I just think that he took some of the some of the steam out of the anger and the viciousness that Otis Driftwood has.
I disagree with that. I thought the whole dynamic of them competing for the leadership of this three-man gang was great. It was perfect. The fact that Otis just disregarded him at times, referring to them as two.
Right.
And I believe that was an intentional shun that, you know what, fuck you, you don't matter. It is the two of us. You want to tag along, fine. You are not the leader. You are not part of this. You are our sidekick. I thought that was an intentional shun to him because he
felt threatened.
Because he was jockeying for that leadership position.
Yeah.
And I felt that dynamic was great in this movie.
But because he was trying to usurp some of that power away from Otis Driftwood, that made him feel threatened. That in itself takes away some of the power away from Driftwood, and that's what I think happened here, and that's why I think Driftwood seemed to soften a little bit in this movie.
No, I
don't think he was ever.
Yeah, no.
He was ever,
You're missing. I mean, I don't think he softened. I felt that kind of put an edge to him because he was fighting for his position.
I didn't feel that edge. I didn't feel it.
Now the thing I wonder is, do you guys feel like the interactions between Otis and Midnight Wolfman do you think he just took the stuff that was supposed to be for Sid and just put in another character? Or do you think he rewrote some of those scenes to give it more of a kind of power dynamic?
I think he rewrote it. I can't picture Captain Spaulding kind of like doing that. I mean, Spaulding was the dad, right?
No.
He wasn't the father?
Spaulding was Baby's father.
He wasn't Driftwood's father.
I don't.
Well, who knows with that fucking family?
Yeah.
Seriously, like that.
Karen Black
I don't know if there's a family tree out there.
Yeah. Mama Firefly and Captain Spaulding, they had Baby. Where Otis Driftwood comes in and all this on the family tree, I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, I'm sure it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, I don't know. Even down to some of the I like the little the movie idea. Was it Desperate Hours or whatever it was when talking about the, Cagney and Bogey.
Oh, who was who? Yes.
Yeah, it was who. He's like, all right, man, you could be Bogey. He's like, "Motherfucker, you haven't seen the movie yet." It was. I like that little bit of business, and I can't picture that.
Yeah.
I can't picture them, Captain Spaulding and Otis having that
No,
dialogue.
I feel a lot of the dialogue, especially, was rewritten for these characters.
Especially his entrepreneurial plans.
Yes.
Well, that could have been Spaulding, maybe.
No, I think probably majority of the dialogue was rewritten.
Yeah.
They just had the general story, and probably the climax probably was very similar, but
yeah,
dialogue definitely was rewritten for these characters.
But pretty much like Spaulding and Otis talk here, and then add Wolfman.
Yeah,
change dialogue a little bit.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm looking for a family tree, and I don't know if it's like if there's anything like that exists. So
I'm thinking that he's like Mother Firefly's son, and then Spaulding showed up, so maybe he's like the stepdad in a sense, probably. I mean, I'm thinking of the age, space between all three of them, and I think that fits about right.
The thing that I'm reading here says the Firefly family is a clan of loosely related individuals who existed as brutal, violent serial killers in the town of Rugsville, Texas, throughout the 70s. Their actual surnames are unknown. They began using the Firefly alias at the suggestion of a man who called himself Otis B. Driftwood. All the family members, including Otis, adopted aliases based upon film characters originally portrayed by comedian Groucho Marx. The Firefly name came from a character named Rufus T. Firefly from the 1933 film Duck Soup.
That's true.
So, yeah, they don't. I don't know that they really, and not that it really matters too much. It's, but yeah, I think the dynamic between them was interesting, and I thought that the Midnight Wolfman character was pretty cool, and you could tell like he was definitely on the outside. Like, and Otis is like, I'm the leader here. You're just tagging along. So I thought that dynamic was fine. Obviously, I think I would have preferred to have seen Sid in that role, but obviously it just couldn't be. It couldn't be. So we got what we got, and I think that it was salvaged, and they did a good job with it based on what we know now, So I think that's fine. The one thing I was hoping for, and I hope this isn't, there were some characters that we've seen or that have been mentioned that I was hoping to get some more resolution to. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Especially one in House of a Thousand Corpses. There was a character that is never fully explored, and I was kind of hoping to maybe get some resolution about that, but I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But, I thought I was looking to see more mythology from the other films where...
Is he a doctor?
Yes.
Okay, I was trying to figure out where this was going because I had no idea.
I just thought that would have been interesting. Even if there was like a mention, I don't think there was anything though. So
take it back to that. 'Cause it's definitely a jump from corpses to rejects.
Yeah, I think they actually said it was 7 months, but yeah.
No, I mean in terms of style.
Oh yeah, definitely huge style difference. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, we should probably wrap this up because we've been talking about it for a while. Is there anything else you guys want to bring up before we head to the verdict? Anything we hadn't discussed?
We're gonna keep the ending kind of as a surprise.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really. I mean, the movie just came out on VOD, so there may be some people that haven't had a chance to see it. And plus, I don't think it's like super like. It's not like Parasite where or Bliss like we had to talk about it to really, really get through the movie. I think this movie, I don't think you need to discuss the end. Like I'm not like dying to talk about it, but there is some cool stuff, All right, so let's head to the verdict.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether this flick was a trick or a treat. Any final thoughts? Let's kick it off with Raven Shadow.
Listen, man, I remember being I think it was 15, probably 15, seeing, White Zombie, Thunder Kiss 65 video for the first time, a Headbangers Ball. And I'm a fan of the dude. I dig his music. I like him.
Fan of his brother.
I'm a huge fan of his brother. Yeah, fucking put fucking Spider in a fucking movie.
I know, right?
5,000 versus the Firefly family. That's be fucking outrageous. I don't give a fuck about Spider. But yeah, no, fucking from Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? While I've been very disappointed, like I didn't like Lords of Salem, but I don't think it was a bad film. I just didn't like it. I think 31 was shite. So with this, I'm always still excited for a Rob Zombie movie, and I got to say, I did enjoy this. And is it weird to say I thought this was less mean-spirited than Rejects?
Oh, it definitely is less.
You know what I mean?
That was a pretty mean-spirited movie all the way through.
Yeah, and even during the hostage scene, I mean, you definitely got some implication of what happened.
Sure,
but it wasn't as awkward. Like I remember watching that with somebody else, and we had to turn it off in the hotel scene originally, for Rejects rather. But sometimes I didn't like, and this doesn't always bother me. I thought CGI blood was really obvious in this.
I'll agree with you there. Yes.
You know what I mean? And CGI arrows, which took me out of the time period.
Arrows, not so much, because there's only so much you can do with that. The blood, yeah.
Yeah, right. And it was like they did a lot of they did some cool practical things I thought was dope. And definitely a couple scenes. Well, yeah, with the scene in the woods was definitely, there was a couple of like, ooh, that's just gross. You know what I mean? But overall, I did like this. I do have a friend that gave me his review that I kind of want to read real quick. I don't say necessarily agree.
Oh, wow. Raven Shadow working technology,
boy.
so bear with us. Go.
Oh, it ain't fucking important. Whatever.
Wait
They
a
didn't fucking, yeah, derailed the fucking thing. But for me, I fucking loved the ending. Not as much as I wanted to love it. It was a nice surprise. I thought they would go into a different direction, almost a more supernatural direction with a particular character. But I thought that was a lot of fun. Just the imagery, I really enjoyed. But it's not perfect, and part of me kind of wonders why make this. So I said it must have been changed from the original plan with Sid Haig. But overall, I did like this. The women in prison stuff could have been cut. You could have cut off at least 15 minutes of this movie overall.
Mr. Runtime.
Yeah. But, really, I mean, like, I would have rather more of a denouement, if you will. But you know what? If you hate Rob Zombie flicks, I don't know if this is the movie that's going to win you back. I don't know if this is the one that's... Maybe it will. But I did enjoy this, and I'm always interested in what Rob Zombie does, whether it's music or fucking Downy fucking fabric commercials. I don't give a fuck. I would say this is a treat. Fuck it.
All right, Aries.
I love Rob Zombie's music. I am a huge Rob Zombie fan. I will listen to anything he has to give me. Rob Zombie movies, on the other hand, I am not so much a big fan. I am not a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses. I am not a fan of the Devil's Rejects. I know I am the minority in this group. I thought those movies were a little too heavy-handed with their just, you know what, here's every movie I love, all in one movie. I thought that was a little too much with those movies, and that is my big problem with those movies. And a little just too convoluted. I did not see 31. I did not see Lords of Salem. Halloween 1 was fine. I didn't need the backstory. Halloween 2 I didn't care for. So I had low expectations going into this movie because he didn't give me a lot to hope for.
Yep.
But that said, I fucking love this movie.
Nice.
This movie, although it did have nods to other genres of movie, it was, you know what, you had 3 distinct movies in this. You know what, that's all you need. You give me more than that, it's too much. So that was perfect. These characters were hashed out very well. in this movie. I mean, you did not have to watch anything before this to watch this movie and enjoy this movie. I would have loved to have seen Sid Haig in this movie. That said, I loved how they dealt with Sid Haig for this movie. Like Raven Shadow said, the CGI blood unnecessary. Rob Zombie, I was really surprised that he did that because it was unnecessary. You could have done practical blood where the CGI blood was. I felt that was lazy. That was lazy. But the whole story, it was very good. The ending was well done. It is, I mean, there's this could end here. This could be a sequel. He's leaving it wide open. He didn't close it like the last movie and then have to reopen. So I thought that was fine. But this movie definitely is a treat. Check it out.
Nice.
All right. MZ.
Well, I first of all, I'll just say that I think Dee Wallace puts in a very fine performance in this movie, and it stands out in the film. The fact that you don't have Sid Haig in this movie, it does hurt the movie. It does hurt what could have been. It could have been, a fun, violent ride, just like in Devil's Rejects. It could have been a blast. But given the health that Sid Haig was in, I think Rob Zombie. I mean, I think he handled that situation very well, and big props to that because he had to think quick on that, and I think he did a fine job with that. The Midnight Wolfman character was a bit annoying for me. Richard Brake is a good actor, and I've only seen him in 31, but and I really should see him in more stuff because he did put in a good performance in 31. It's the only highlight of that movie.
He was also in Mandy, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was the chemist.
Yes, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yep.
And so okay, he's in a good movie right there. And I just think that he just felt too intrusive. He felt, as far as writing goes, apparently that, because Spaulding had the clown gimmick, that I feel like they had to give this guy a gimmick by having him howling all the time, which I found to be annoying, not to mention the fact that, if you're trying to hide from the cops, the last thing you want to do is give yourself away, especially if your name is the Midnight Wolfman and all you're doing is howling throughout the film.
Well, they kind of stand out, though. I mean,
I am talking.
Wow, producer Zero up in here.
Now, and so in that instance, I felt that character was a bit annoying. The CGI blood, like you guys were talking about, yeah, that we could do without that. And there was some CGI blood in Devil's Rejects and in Halloween 2, and it was all crap. You could tell.
Is that your blood?
No.
Oh shit! That's the fucking next Patreon movie.
Oh man, that would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the third act was just, to me, it was underwhelming. I just you can have all the shootouts, all the bows and arrows flying around all over the place, all you want. It looked good. Consider what you got going on in this movie. In that third act, it looks good, but overall, it was just, I just didn't care for it. It just felt so underwhelming. And the final scene, the last, say, 4 minutes of the film, it was just extremely underwhelming. There was no tension that would look like it was gonna be building up at all. It just felt flat to me. and that's a shame too, because you put almost 2 hours into this, and that's the ending you get. I wasn't impressed at all. His, of course, zombie style with the newsreels and footage and things like that will always be good. It cannot never be good. It's never be bad, rather. It's always good, and it's always fun to watch, and it's always interesting to see what he's going to throw in there, because whatever he throws in there is going to be reminiscent of what we used to watch when we were kids, and that's always nice. I like reminiscing like that. Morgue shots, dead in the road. I love that shit.
Weird fucking guy.
Thank you. And but okay, and then the soundtrack was fine. It was it fit in the tone of the film. It did follow some subgenres, which was fine. So overall, with everything said, because I'm still on the fence about this, because I just think it could have been so much better, and not only because of the death of Sid Haig. There was a lot of situations that had to be dealt with, not involving Sid Haig, that could have been taken care of a little bit better, and it wasn't. But there is some good in this movie. I'm gonna have to give this a very, 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 very tepid treat. Very tepid.
Jesus Christ. Are you sure about the very?
Yeah. I'll throw in one more very just to shut you up.
How many berries are that?
It won't work. I just
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing about your Wolfman comment. I think you're missing the point of that character.
I'm always missing the point. That's what everybody tells me.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm trying to inform you if you wouldn't
go ahead.
interrupt, because I'm talking. He is starved for attention. He wants to be the main player in this group, where he is the back player. He's in the background.
He's the bassist.
So he's fuck you. Someone's getting dragged out of this house by their fucking nose.
If you take the bass out of all music, it sounds completely the same.
But the simple fact that he was appalled that people didn't know him, rather, they knew Otis's character, but they didn't know him. He was shocked by that. So that's the whole basis to him being the Wolfman, to the howl. Where if you actually pay attention, he wasn't good at it. Everyone else could howl better than him.
Yeah.
It was his attempt to be the mainstream player, the number one, and he just failed at it.
Which is kind of weird. Like, I mean, I'm kind of curious now about the what his role is, where he was away from the family. Yeah, so he's trying to get back his chance.
I just think he was just a 2-bit thug. Like, he didn't do much of any. He robbed a liquor store. He, maybe murdered a hooker or something. He just not. He wasn't going to church every Sunday. But as far as these people went, he was nothing. He was enough to get them out of jail, and that was it.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. So I'm sorry, Ayers, did you give your verdict? Oh, you did. MZ was.
I did. I wanted to chime in.
Yeah.
Thing. I didn't mean to step on your toes.
No, you didn't. That's right. I just forgot MZ. He had given it. So, for me, I'm actually. I like that this movie exists, and it had enough interesting stuff going on to keep me, engaged throughout the runtime of it, despite it being a little long. But I also was kept wanting something a little bit more. The first two films in the series felt like a continuation of the story of the Firefly family, but this seems almost it didn't bug me, but it almost seemed to play like a retcon, to play just so Rob Zombie could play in this playground again, and to maybe, I don't know if he's trying to make a return to form so he gets bigger projects, so maybe he thought revisiting his more successful films would allow him to do that. but it almost seems a little forced that he did this. It felt unnecessary that there was a sequel to this, as opposed to, like telling a compelling continuation of their story. Like I said, I liked a lot of what was done in this, but it just seemed wholly unnecessary at points. I'm like, well, why does this movie exist? Like, I think Devil's Rejects was kind of a fun take on it because it was a different vibe. It was a different style of film. And this one, in a sense, is as well. It kind of encompasses a couple different subgenres, but I don't know. Like, it just kept me wanting. Like, I'm like, why is this even being made? Like, and not that it needs to have a solid, like whatever. Like, he's the creator; he can do whatever the fuck he wants. If he wants to do, if he wants to do Dragula 3, do another fucking Dragula. Like that's his prerogative, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants, But for me, this felt like it was a little forced to tell this story, and I didn't feel like it. Despite having the first, bit of the movie, the first act revolve around what the outcome of what had happened to them at the end of Rejects. It just almost, I don't know. It just felt unnecessary, I guess. I wouldn't have minded seeing this story play out with different characters. Like just make up 3 other characters. You can still call it 3 from Hell, and they have supernaturality. What was that fucking word these said? Some sort of element of the supernatural involved. Like I guess that's the thing I'm struggling with is why was this made? And like I said, it doesn't matter. Whatever reason he wanted to make it is totally fine. But to me as a viewer, I just kept thinking, like, I just don't think this is a compelling entry into this series. As a movie, as a standalone, I did enjoy it for the most part. And, I think all this said, I guess I'll wrap it up. It was a much more enjoyable film than I was anticipating after the disaster that was 31. And I think this is a little bit of a return to form for him. And I do like that he has all these disparate elements. And I liked the, I guess we'll call them the Black Satans, because that's what they are. Like, it doesn't give much away, but I like the Black Satans, And I thought that was kind of a cool, but it was almost like this matter of fact, like, okay, now we're throwing you a new situation for them to be in, And meanwhile, it could have just been a road movie of any 3 people and made it shorter and not have tied it into the Firefly family, and it still would have been a compelling, enjoying film, So I guess that's kind of where I'm at. I'm still going to go with The Treat because standalone, I think this is definitely a little bit of a return to form after 31. But as a continuation of the Firefly family, it left me wanting a little bit more. It just left a little to be desired because I just feel it wasn't a compelling continuation of their story, despite having some cool elements in there. So I guess it's a little mixed bag, but mostly good. So I will, stick with The Treat on that. And like I said, I'm glad to see, a film that I enjoyed because 31 was, oh God, it was bad. Bad.
That left a bad taste in our mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, that is going to do it for our discussion about 3 from Hell. This is one that I'd like to get some other opinions on. So if you guys want to let us know what you thought, feel free to send a voice message or an email, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Let us know what you think. And next week we are going to be doing a film that's actually coming out tomorrow, the 25th. So it hits VOD on the 25th of October. And the name of the film is The Girl on the Third Floor.
Ooh.
So this one is directed by Travis Stevens, who I think this may be his first film as a director. Let me double check that. And yes, he did one documentary short behind the scenes of Summer's Blood. And this is his feature film debut. But he's produced a shitload of stuff. We've seen a lot of stuff that he's done. He produced Mohawk, 68 Kill, Double X. It was that movie with all the women filmmakers that we did.
Oh yeah.
He also produced We Are Still Here, Starry Eyes, Jodorowsky's Dune, Big Ass Spider.
Shit.
and a whole host of others. So he's produced a lot of movies that we've actually reviewed on the podcast. So, but this is his feature film debut, and the film stars CM Punk, otherwise known as Phil Brooks.
Oh.
And let's see, I think there's some.
Hell.
Yeah. So this one's been getting some pretty good praise in its festival showing. So I'm curious to check it out. So we're going to be doing Girl on the Third Floor, and it is available on VOD starting the 25th of October. So if you get a chance to check it out, go ahead. Let us know what you think. We'll be doing that next week. And we are running a little late, so we're just going to jump into voicemail and kind of wrap things up here. We have 3 voicemail as of now. I think, we got 3.
3 voicemail hell.
3 voicemail from hell. Yeah, that's good. And kicking off the 3 voicemail from hell is Jethro Namacon.
Hello, fellas. It's Jethro Namacon. Just testing out some audio equipment. Thought I'd say hi, check in on you, see how you're doing, and hopefully you're all loving life. Can't wait to see the new episode. Later.
Hey, all right, buddy. He's testing out some equipment. Nice. I heard he's might be getting into the podcasting game.
Yeah, I want to kiss that dude on the mouth.
Whoa.
Not weird. Don't make it weird.
Kissing someone on the mouth? That's not weird.
Yeah.
A complete stranger?
No, we fucking talk. We have conversations.
Have you met him in person?
Well, I mean...
Have you actually spoken, or is it like Facebook?
No, we've done the messenger.
The messenger.
The messenger.
So essentially a complete stranger.
I just heard him talk right now, and he hears us talk. Just not at the same time sometimes.
Well, you still do the phone sex thing, don't you?
Oh, my God.
Fucking jealous? Yeah, you know what? I'll fucking tell you. I'll send you a message later on. Like, all right, Aries, I'm wearing my Batman mask. You be Kite Man.
All right.
Wear the cowl and nothing else.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's the first voicemail from hell. Let's listen to the second voicemail from hell. And this is from Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh here. Just calling in with my thoughts on this week's film. I still haven't had a chance to catch up with Parasite, but I really do intend to. But I did get a chance to watch 3 from Hell, a movie that I was only moderately looking forward to watching. The Rob Zombie films have been really hit or miss with me, and I personally thought 31 was quite a disappointment, and he didn't change on this one. This one is still a bit of a disappointment. This one really plays out in a lazy fashion of like a greatest hits compilation. It's just scenarios that are similar to other scenarios. Certain things that certain characters do are just taken straight out of the previous films. I think there was a scene that could have been really intense and good. Was I don't want to give too much, but a scene in which a party clown is in the wrong place at the wrong time. I think in a better movie, that could have been an extremely tense scene, but just given the overall unintentional goofiness of this film, it just came off as kind of out of place. Like, in place in the whole thing, but just like that actual scene being decent seemed out of place. I don't know. Overall, this was kind of a disappointment, but I kind of expected it was going to be a disappointment when I was going into it. So, this is a trick. It does not get a recommend unless you absolutely have to see, the continuation of this series. And to bring back an oldie, I mean, this is a trick. It gets no recommendation. This film is in the crud. So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to see what you guys thought of it. I have a feeling, at least a couple of you are going to think similar to what I thought. Other than that, hey, I hope everything's going really well. I wanted to amend last week. I was talking about how great everything was with Rock and Shock and all that, and it was. But I totally forgot to say hi to Tim. It was great meeting you. It was, really awesome that you came out all that way. And I hope that the rest of your vacation was great as well, and that your return trip was great. Okay, so I think I got everything covered there. You guys all have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
All right, Josh. Thanks, buddy. And Josh did not like it.
No.
No.
He did not.
It's interesting because I thought this was much better than 31, but Josh didn't seem to think so.
Well, this is a by far better movie than 31 because 31 is just absolute shit.
This is fucking Casablanca compared to 31.
Yeah, right? But I mean, this also had familiar characters that we grew up with watching for the past 18 years. So, there's a bit of...
Well, not for 14 years, though.
Well, no. But we're still familiar with them.
Yes.
So it was like seeing an old friend, and of course with Sid and all, I mean.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, so I mean, in that respect, it was good seeing the movie. But I still didn't think it was all that good, despite my rating. But it's still miles better than 31.
I was surprised there was not more of a tribute to Sid Haig.
Well, they didn't. The film was already in the can.
Yeah.
By the time when he died.
Okay.
So they, because I was waiting to see, in memoriam to Sid Haig or whatever.
Like a montage.
Yeah, it's been done.
No, not a montage. I was just looking for in the credits, like in memoriam Sid Haig or as we remember Sid Haig. This film is dedicated to Sid Haig, and there was nothing like that. But that's okay because I mean, like I said, the film was already in the can. It was already shopping around the circuits.
I believe, like I said, I think it was 3 days. He passed 3 days after this movie came out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I'm sure there'll be. I'm sure there's gonna be something on the DVD. Yeah. I don't know if there is. If anybody has a DVD, chime in on that.
DVD. Not Blu-ray.
Nah, fuck Blu-ray. That sucks.
Going old school.
Yeah,
DVD.
Exactly. Yeah, DVD. All right, so let's hear from our third voicemail from hell, and this is from our boy, First Time Mike.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. How's everybody doing?
Good, buddy.
Hope all is well with you guys. Halloween question. I don't think I've ever asked you guys. Do you guys have trick-or-treating on October 31st, or do you guys do like what we do, at least in my area in Milwaukee, where we have Halloween trick-or-treat is on from 1 to 4 on the Sunday before Halloween. I know a lot of places do it differently. I'm just curious in your guys' area and in your new digs, Johnny, what the trick-or-treat hours are. I have not watched Street from Hell. It's on the list, but I'll probably watch it in November. I prefer most of my movie viewing in the Halloween season. I tend more towards the supernatural and scary route and monster route than the serial killer route. It's a personal thing, but and to be truthful, the main reason why I want to see Three from Hell, I was kind of going to give it a pass till it came, probably on a streaming service, but I want to see Sid Haig's last movie. And 31 I was kind of underwhelmed by, so I wasn't really rushing out to see any new Rob Zombie to begin with. I do have a question tonight. My question is this: what do you have a recommendation for a slower burn horror movie for the Halloween season? What set this off is that, and I posted this on the Fib, is that on last week I stumbled onto Let's Scare Jessica to Death, a 1971 horror movie with Zora Lambert and it's set in New England, and it's it's a ghost story, maybe a vampire story, maybe is it all in her head? It's a slow burn of a movie, but it still creeps me out after all this time. This is about the 10th or 12th time I saw it. First time I saw it was on Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, but it just has it's just the whispers and a lot of the creepy visuals, and it's just one of those movies I love. My question is this: do you guys have any quieter horror movies that you recommend? Something maybe a little palate cleanser after you've been watching some bloody zombie or vampire movies, or some serial killers chopping bodies up. Just a nice, maybe like a ghost story like The Changeling, or similar to, like I said, let's just scare Jessica to death. Do you guys have any recommendations for maybe some more quiet horror to enjoy during the Halloween season? This is First Time Mike, wishing you all the best. And hey, Raven Shadow, I would love to come up to Rock and Shack, but sometimes, man, I have more vacation time than I have vacation dollars, my friend. But I will make an honest effort to try to get up there some year. Love you guys. Hope for all the best. Talk to you later. Goodbye. Bye.
All right, First Time Mike. Thanks, man. So a couple questions there. Number one, the trick-or-treat question he had. I actually don't really know down here. I do know that there's like a little shopping plaza. I think the weekend before Halloween, they're doing a thing called Trunk or Treat, where I guess you decorate your car and bring it to the parking lot at the shopping center, and then...
Hey, you want candy? Go right in that trunk. Go in there.
Yeah. Go in that white van.
Yeah, that's actually a very common thing.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah. A lot of like businesses do that.
No shit.
Yeah.
Raven Chow, you got to get a new gimmick now.
Yeah, I know,
yeah. What about you guys? I don't know. So I don't know if they do it. I think they still do it here on Halloween, but I'm not sure. Guess I'll find out.
I mean, there is some talk in Massachusetts about making the trick-or-treating day like on a Saturday, but no, we ain't we're keeping it real with a real fucking day. And honestly, as a fucking homeowner, don't fucking come to my house on a fucking weekend. All right? I'll fucking play the game. I'm gonna carve a pumpkin and a fucking turnip.
There's gonna be less. There's gonna be less candy on the weekends for them now.
Yeah. But no, I will rush out of work, try to leave early, and I'll fucking do the fucking candy thing, put the fucking lights on, fine. From 5:30 to like 8, whatever. But on Saturday or Sunday, don't come fucking over here.
I'm sorry. You'd rather rush home from work,
yeah,
and scurry around to do everything you need to do on a Thursday,
yeah,
than have all of Saturday to prepare to deal with the kids for 2 hours on a Saturday.
Yo, on Saturday and Sunday, Raven Shadow's off the clock, and you don't want to come to my house on the.
I was at your
because you're here like sleeping on the couch.
Nah, well,
Raven Chow, I was at your.
We know we're not watching movies.
I was at your house over the weekend.
Well, yeah, because you were here, you were guest, you kind of blocked some shit, Johnny. I loved you having over, but you kind of fucking
fucked up my shit, Johnny.
You kind of threw a little fucking monkey wrench on a couple of things. Very much. I miss you.
You're like, get the fuck out of here, though.
But yeah, you're gonna fucking go. I was like, listen. But yeah, don't call my house on a fuck. I don't want the fucking mailman coming over on fucking Saturday.
Wow. All right.
Didn't you just invite me to come over on Saturday to watch you with the turnips?
I want you to come over. Yeah, we'll get. We'll
wait, Aries, he wants you to film it.
Yeah. Now I'm uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
MZ, you're coming with me. I'm not coming here alone. Fuck.
He needs a.
Where's the green screen?
Yeah. All right, and then the other question he asked was quiet horror films. After you watch some zombie movies or something crazy, what do you do to kind of come down from that and some quiet horror movies?
I think it kind of go anything classic. You know what? I'd say anything with Vincent Price in it, because he is just that distinguished of a gentleman that those movies are just very calming, even though they are brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, he comes off with that demeanor, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. He always comes off very, very gentlemanly.
Oh yes.
No matter what character it is, he could be the epitome of evil. He could be the epitome of good. Either way, he plays it with a very gentlemanly style.
Yeah, demeanor, and it is very soothing to watch him play to play his part.
Yeah. Movie I think of when this question hit, I'm racking my brain to think about what movie I could be thinking of, and it hit me, and it was like When a Stranger Calls.
Okay.
Yeah, with Carol Kane and with Charles Durning.
Ah, the Charles Durning point.
Yeah, and fantastic little thriller, and very slow burn. The first 10 minutes are dynamite, absolute dynamite, and then after that, it's a complete slow burn to the end, and it has a really nice payoff. So I would recommend that movie, When a Stranger Calls.
I guess I know I've mentioned this one a lot, and it's not really a hidden gem, so I'm sure it's already on people's radar. But for me, one that really, the last 10 years, I guess, or maybe I think it came out in 2009, or maybe 10. I can't remember. But House of the Devil, that's for me like slow burn, really fucking awesome. Like I just still love that movie. So that would be the first one that comes to mind. I'm sure there's some other better ones out there. But that's the first one that comes to mind. Maybe even it's not quite horror, but I guess it is sort of kind of a folk horror would be, and it's another one I've mentioned a lot, is A Field in England for me was another cool one. That's kind of like, it's quiet, it's kind of a heady film. You have to kind of think about it a little bit, but those are the ones that come to mind for me.
Anything for you, Raven Shadow? No.
Casper.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
His new mattress. You got one of those Casper mattresses, Raven Shadow?
No, I'm in the market though. I gotta get a new mattress.
Right.
Is that from all the Saturday nights?
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking. It's great. Yeah, that's why I don't fucking come over my house. You ain't getting fucking candy.
I'm just picturing you like dancing around his house to the Bay City Rollers. That's
Where
what
do you guys fucking leave? Okay.
I'm just that's what I'm picturing your Saturday night. Just
Saturday.
Yeah,
That's a fucking vision right there.
One time that fucking happened.
Yeah, now you never let it down. First time Mike says, "Oh, those are some great recommendations, my dudes." So there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, first time Mike. I'm sure if we had some more time, we'd probably think of some better ones. But so,
yeah.
MZ, if you have
Pool, The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah. I think folk horror in general, like even some ones we did this week. This year, Gwen and actually, you probably want to slit your wrists after watching that, but maybe like Hagazusa,
Yeah.
That's a very, very little dialogue, very sort of kind of chill out and just kind of let it all in, So there you go. If anyone else has any recommendations, obviously feel free to let us know. But all right, dudes, I think that's gonna do it. First time Mike says, "Oh my God, I'm seeing that now too, Aries." Raven Shadow dancing to the Bay City Rollers.
I fucking know. Wrap it up. You guys gotta go. I got a potty. Me and Holly like doing that.
Me and Holly. Do you guys do YMCA too?
Yeah, he likes roller skating. Roller skateboard. He likes that. His arms out.
Roller boogie boy. That was another. Yeah. That was another back to school line. You guys remember that when he gets he gets in prison? He's got the roller skates on.
Oh yeah,
summer school.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Summer school. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I went to jail on roller skates.
Yeah. And then so one of the guys in the cell was like, "Roller boogie boy."
Who wants gum?
Yeah.
Is the earrings like I made a friend?
Yeah. Oh shit, that might be one eventually if we do another one of those summer school.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so I think that's gonna do it. So let's go around the room. Say our goodbye, MZ.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Sayonara.
Sorry, I forgot to call on you.
Yeah,
you get all
I know
screwed
my.
up. All right, Raven Shadow.
Thank you. Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
Well, listen to the Bay City Rollers.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
All right.
I said,
That is going to do it for episode 378. We appreciate everyone who sent in feedback, everyone who checked out the live show, and all of our Patreon supporters, of course, for helping us to keep doing this thing that we do. So we appreciate you. And next week, like I said, the film we're going to be reviewing is The Girl on the Third Floor, starring CM Punk. Should be interesting. And it hits VOD on the 25th of October. If you want to check it out, go ahead and give it a look-see and let us know what you think. All right, well, that is going to do it for us. Sorry, I forgot to turn the music down. All right, that's going to do it for us. So until next week, from the Lair of Lost Swag in Castle Wolfenstein, we'll see you next week.